Hello, my fellow humans. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you're new here, thanks for joining us. We're all here sharing this human experience together. I do things differently here, so there might be triggering statements that arise on the readings themselves. There's no obligation to force it to fit, while keeping in mind that triggers can be a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our own healing journeys. If the messages resonate with you, it would truly mean the world and help the channel if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And with that, please know that your time, your energy, and your presence are a true gift and a blessing, and I'm deeply honored to be here sharing it with you today. So we are doing a reading that was voted on by 4 members. If you join the memberships, you will get to influence certain readings that come out on the channel. And so this one was voted on, and that's blessings that are coming to you. And the question that I came up with is, what blessings are coming to you now, or what blessings are you manifesting? Okay, so I'm not sure what I'm going to title it, but it's going to be one of those two. But that's what we're doing today, and I'm going to be using the Wild Unknown Alchemy Oracle by Kim Krans. This is just such a perfect deck for this reading. So thank you to those of you that are members, and if you guys are interested in joining as a member, you'll find everything you need in the description box below. It has a link in order for you to do so. It is not a requirement. That's just for those of you that choose to further support the channel, which I am so appreciative and grateful for. All right, so let's go ahead and hop to our prayer, and we will get this reading underway. And if you guys have been watching any of the intros, you know my AC was broken and it is fixed now, and I'm so happy about that because the heat index today is triple digits, and so it's been triple digits the last few days. Been a little wild with the heat, but we are back up and running. Dogs are peaceful and happy and nice and cool. No one is panting like crazy like they were before, and yeah, so thank you for prayers. Thank you for good wishes from those of you that did so. And yeah, just that's the update that we have today. My beloved source, this prayer is for any and all who come on to this reading, whether it's for a moment's time or for the entire time. Sometimes we get overly attached to the things that we're trying to call in, whether that is the blessing of money, the blessing of freedom, the blessing of awakening, the blessing of moving on, letting go, surrendering, whatever our blessings are that we're asking for. Sometimes we become so attached and we want them to come right away. And it's not that they won't, but when we're worried about the outcome, or we're worried about how it's going to come to us, or we're worried about when it's coming to us, we might be unintentionally pushing it away. And it's because we're curious by nature, and we want to know all the nitty-gritty details of life, and our own life in particular. We need to know how everything's going to play out, but manifestations are part of a bigger surprise for us, and sometimes we have to just truly let go. But when we're struggling with that, what do we do? So today we come to you. We come to you with open hearts and ask that you help ease our attachment to these blessings, to help ease our attachment to the outcomes, and to trust that you truly are working magic behind the scenes. You are ensuring that everything is working out for our highest good. That you are ensuring that all the things that we ask for come in a manner that is best suited for us. Even if it's not quite what we had imagined, or even if it's not exactly what we thought it would be, it doesn't mean that it's not for us. So today I ask that you help ease that stress and that worry, and instead place trust and surrender upon our hearts and our souls. And knowing that we do deserve good things. Knowing that you always want the best for us. Knowing that love is surrounding us at every moment of our journey. We can lean into you and relax. And this is what we ask for help for today. So as these words are spoken upon this tribe and onto this reading, so shall they be. Amen, aho, ase. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you. Let me go ahead and set that up over here. Oh, it's almost out of my reach. I almost can't reach my my incense holder. I guess it moved a little further away than I had imagined. Okay, so yeah, let's get into this. I'm gonna shuffle these cards. They're a little tricky for me to shuffle, so please be patient with me. And we'll get into this. So let's find out what blessings you're manifesting now. I feel like that's a good question today. What blessings you're manifesting now? What blessings you're manifesting now? What blessings are you manifesting now? Okay, thank you. What blessings are you manifesting now? I can't even do the bridge with these. They're so awkward. All right, pile one. What blessings are you manifesting now? What Alchemy Oracle card will help us better understand this message today for pile one, source? What Alchemy Oracle card will help us better understand this message for pile one? Thank you. All right, pile number two. What blessings are you manifesting now? What Alchemy Oracle card will help us better understand this message today? Thank you. Okay, pile number three. What blessings are you manifesting now? What Alchemy Oracle card will help us better understand this message today? Thank you. All right, let's take a look at the collective energy. Vinegar. Okay, this is number 34 with vinegar. So I do feel like, you know, vinegar is a very sour. It's very sour if you drink it, even like when you smell it. It's a great cleaning agent. It's a very pure cleaning agent, you know, without the chemicals in it or anything like that. And so vinegar is also like a deterrent, right? So it can help prevent from pests coming in. It can help from rodents coming in. It can even keep, I've learned all this recently, actually this summer, but it can actually keep birds from building nests on your awnings or under your eaves on your roof or something like that if you spray it regularly. Like, vinegar just really keeps things away. And, you know, it's not necessarily good or bad things, it's just all things. Like, you want your peace and you want your stability, and you're wanting this place of freedom from people who would rather see you oppressed or want you to belittle yourself, or who want you to just feel guilty about setting boundaries for yourself. And one of the blessings that the collective is manifesting now is truly being able to deter pests, if you will, from encroaching on your space. And I feel like this is something that many of you have prayed for. You've dealt with some really unsavory characters along the way, or you've dealt with some really difficult people along the way, and what's coming through now is this cleansing. And it might not be a monetary blessing. Like, I feel like so many people are only looking out for monetary blessings, and there's so many blessings out there that get taken for granted. And this is that reminder to open your eyes and see those other blessings, because when you're focused on all the good things in your life, then even more of that can manifest, right? Having a roof over your head, the ability to take a shower, the ability to wash our hands, the ability to have clean clothes and even have clothes on our back, to have shoes on our feet, socks on our feet, to have a bed to lay our head to rest at night, to have food on the table, to have, you know, money to pay the bills, to have money for entertainment, to have money for luxuries like phone and internet, right? Like, these are all blessings, and sometimes they're just such a part of daily life that they get overlooked. And so I feel like right now there's something that you're dealing with, or there's something that you have been dealing with, whether that's a situation, a person, a place, or just a matter that has come up that has been very frustrating and very difficult. And it's like nothing you do seems to really work to prevent this from creating even more chaos internally. And you've been doing your best to come to peace. You've been doing your best to stay level-headed. You've been doing your best to stay calm. But sometimes you feel yourself losing that groundedness and really coming and stepping into that energy that this situation is in, and that's not what you want. And you've been really fighting that and struggling. And I hope that you've been celebrating just how resilient you are when it comes to this type of issue, because that takes so much courage. Like, even when you feel yourself backpedaling, the awareness that you have is still something worth celebrating. Even if you're like, but I failed, you know, like I yelled at them today, or I reacted and I've been trying so hard not to react. And it's like, don't look at what you did wrong. Look at what you did right. You reacted, yes, but you immediately recognized that reaction and you corrected yourself. And that's what we're trying to have you look at. And so I feel like Source is coming in with this spiritual deterrent where it's like basically putting a shield around you that's saying enough is enough. Like, you're gonna be given a very critical energetic upgrade where when somebody's trying to encroach on your boundaries, you're just going to be very, I want to say abrasive, because that's a type of energy here, but it's not necessarily. It will appear like you're being abrasive, but you're being protective of yourself. And it's like the mama bear or the papa bear is coming out inside of you and like saying, no, you're not going to step over this boundary. No, you're not going to treat me like this. No, you're not going to get that information. No, it's not going to happen again. And it's a very clear, solid, resounding no. I feel like there's been a lot of guilt that's been surrounding you in general about taking care of yourself, or about really doing what's necessary for you to move beyond whatever this situation is, whether that's letting go or surrendering. And you've been working hard and you've made progress. You've definitely been very diligent, but I also feel like this has been one of your biggest barriers or blockages on your journey. And so there's also this feeling of reaching a heightened sense of exhaustion, and you're just ready to be done. You know, it's almost like, if I can't get through this situation, I'm seriously going to throw in the towel. Like, what's the point? If I can't overcome this situation, what am I going to do if I can't get beyond this situation? And you've done every possible thing for yourself to take care of it, to overcome it, to face it, to challenge it even. And it just feels like nothing you do is winning, and nothing you do is helping you move forward. And that's because you've been healing this very big wound inside of your heart and inside of your soul. And as it's been knitting together itself, you've been having this situation front and center. And I've talked about this before, but it's coming up again. It's like, if we don't get triggered in our physical world, it's out of sight, out of mind. And so we'll actually not heal from certain triggers that we have, which is why triggers are necessary on our journey, because that puts it front and center, what we can face and what we can actually deal with in this moment. And so with vinegar, this is a very sour situation. This is a very unruly situation. It's something that you would rather just put the lid on and put in the back of the cupboard and not deal with again. You know, whether that's cooking vinegar, house vinegar, cleaning vinegar, or whatever, right? White vinegar you make dressings with. yellow, what is there, red vinegar that you can cook with, like all these things. Like, it doesn't matter. It's like when it comes out, it's just immediately invasive. It's super invasive, and that's what the situation feels like. And the blessing is that now the tables are turning, where you're going to be the one that is putting out this, for lack of a better explanation, this very sour smell. But it's very energetic. It's this very sour energy to others. So if they're not in a higher vibration, it's going to be clashing of energies that they're not going to be willing to fight against. They're going to immediately turn tail and run. And that's what's going to happen. And so this is a blessing of cleansing the soul. And that's what it feels like. Let's read this from the book and see what more vinegar has to say for us today. And it's interesting, even looking at this card, like this color is not very appealing, right? Not at all. It's like, ooh, that looks kind of gross. It looks like, you know, baby poop yellow, baby poop green. Like, it just doesn't look very appetizing. It's just a very yucky type of situation. And I feel like this is just something that's been really, really hard for you, and it's finally coming to a head in some ways. And in coming to a head, there's the relief of the pressure from it, and then the initial, after that, the immediate relief, and then the healing that is like everything coming back together. So vinegar says acidity, distillation, and memory. It says the vinegar card may be used as a helpful ally in the laboratory to identify a memory that is causing trouble or grief. It is a wonderful means of distillation. Yeah, so cleansing, purifying. It says, with such distinct qualities, vinegar can act as a surprising trump card. It sets the tone for all others that are present. Its sour note cannot be ignored. Yeah. So this is a trigger that's come up maybe recently, or maybe something you've been dealing with for a while, and you've really overcome so much in regards to this trigger. But there's like a point where you're just like, what's the point? It just feels like I can't move beyond this trigger. And that's the blessing that Source is bringing you, is assistance in moving beyond this trigger now. And now it's going to be not necessarily, I mean, it could be given back to the person or the situation that gave it to you. I feel like what's going to happen is that you're going to vibrate out of it, and that vibration of you into a higher state of being and awareness is going to be a trigger back on that person, because they're no longer gaining what they had before from you, and so they're going to have to face their own issues now instead of putting it onto you. It says the tongue knows vinegar. Exactly. Even the suggestion of receiving a few drops in the mouth reminds us of vinegar's sour and lip puckering qualities. In alchemy, vinegar serves as an active agent of distillation, fermentation, and preservation. It is incredibly useful when applied in the right amounts and with intention. This said, it can be easily overused, overwhelming the situation at hand. When the vinegar card is present in a reading, it indicates a sour note permeates the laboratory. It is likely something from the past is showing up in the present and demanding our attention. And I was saying that with the triggers. You know, triggers are necessary because it brings up what's been forgotten to the conscious awareness. So we have to face it head on. It is in vinegar's nature to take over, to overwhelm. Be cautious with this material. A little goes a long way. As they say, it is productive to look at your past, but not to stare. Such is the complex energy of vinegar. To go deeper, view the allegorical Chinese painting, The Vinegar Tasters. To ponder the wisdom of the tongue. And it's interesting with the wisdom of the tongue, because it said that we can recall memories based on our taste. In fact, they've done studies where they had groups of college students that were studying chewing like a certain type of gum, and then put them in the test and had them chew that gum again, and they were able to recall certain answers easily. And there's been tons of studies done on this too, but also just in general, like if you taste a certain food, it can bring you right back to a way of being from when you were a child. And so it feels like this is a very deep wound. It feels like this is something that you've dealt with for a very long time, but there's no denying it anymore. You're being faced with this challenge in this moment as a means of purification. And that might not feel like a blessing, but the blessing of it is to truly eradicate this wound from your heart and from your soul so that you can grow and glow even more. Okay? So this is a spiritual healing is what this feels like. Okay? All right. So let's get this set up. Keep feeling like Ratatouille. That's the movie that keeps coming to mind here for some reason. It's just like that, like how everything that he does is based on how it interacts with his tongue. And some are really good and memorable, and others are really bad but equally as memorable, right? And so it's just it's a unique energy to come through, but it's also a very powerful energy at that. All right, pile 1, we do have this dice with the 10th house on it for you to choose from. Or we have this piece of blue agate. Pile 2, we have this dice with Virgo for you to choose from. Just something to pick from. It doesn't mean that this is only for Virgos. But if you're a Virgo and called to it, that is perfectly okay. And if you're not a Virgo and called to it, that is perfectly okay. We have this gold unicorn pen for you to choose from. Pile 3, we have this dice with Neptune on it for you to choose from. Or we have this piece of rose quartz for you to choose from. So we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3, and whichever pile you feel called to, that should be the one for you, and I will see you over there. Hello, my fellow human. If you were called to this dice with the 10th house on it, or perhaps you felt called to this piece of blue agate, or maybe you were drawn to this card during the shuffle. This is going to be your reading on what blessings are you manifesting right now. We're all here sharing this human experience together. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you're new here, thank you so much for joining us. I do things differently here, so there might be triggering statements that arise on the readings themselves. There's no obligation to force it to fit, while keeping in mind that triggers can be a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journeys. If the messages happen to resonate with you, it'd mean the world to me if you're to like, comment, and subscribe below. And please know that your time, your energy, and your presence are a true gift and a blessing, and I'm deeply honored to be here sharing them with you today. So really quickly, I do want to mention that this was a suggestion from the members on my channel. If you join as a member, you'll get the opportunity to influence future readings. And if you're interested in joining as a member, you'll find all that information in the description box. It's not necessary, but it is a great way to support these free readings and the channel itself. And so thank you to those of my members who suggested this reading, and there will be future suggestions as well. So pile number 1, what blessings are you manifesting now? Pile number 1, what blessings are you manifesting now? Source, what would you like to share for pile number 1? Okay, so we've got the 9th house, we've got Mercury energy, and we've got Aquarius. Okay, so there's this energy where there's a struggle with communication. Being true to yourself and communicating what felt right for you, right? So maybe you were struggling sharing your spiritual beliefs, or you were struggling to set boundaries with a group of people or a certain person, or maybe just not wanting to disappoint people. And it feels like there's something that was just a huge struggle for you along the way in regards to the way that you expressed yourself out in this world. And there was something that there's deep longing, like I just want to be myself, but fighting against an old pattern of it's not safe to be you. Because if, you know, like whether that was from ridicule or shame or guilt or blame or abandonment or someone ignoring you because you chose to be yourself when you were a child. And so there's this feeling of not being free to express yourself, but the blessing that you're manifesting now is leaning into your authenticity and being unapologetically you, sharing your wisdom, sharing who you are, no longer fearing judgment, no longer fearing failure even. You're just gonna let your weird self shine, and you should. Being weird in this world is such a gift, and I feel like more people need to embrace that. Everybody's trying to fit in, but what is fitting in? And trying to fit into someone else's standard is just stifling and completely overwhelming and totally anticlimactic at the end, right? So we need something that's more adventurous, and we need something that's more fitting to who we are as individuals. And I feel like that's something that you're about to be given, is a roadmap to being true to yourself. And it's not that it hasn't existed before, it's just the roadmap is being made very clear. You're going to be seeing this with your third eye, you're going to be feeling this with your heart, you're going to be feeling this with your intuition, knowing which path to take and knowing what to say for yourself so that you don't feel like you have to oppress yourself, and also not feeling guilty when people don't accept you out in the world out there. It's gonna happen. There are just some people, no matter what you do, you're never gonna win. And there's no point in belittling or minimizing yourself for people like that, because those are the same people who go out wearing masks all the time, and they're not living the life that you want to live. They're not living authentically, right? It's like, if you want to be authentic, model yourself after authentic people. Like, that's something that is so real, because that's how you learn what authentic is to you. But especially with Aquarius here, this is about letting your freak flag fly, letting yourself be your weird, unique, amazing, incredible self, and knowing that you matter. And I feel like there's just going to be a sense of adventure that comes with that, where it's like, all right, I get another day to be me. And so a lot of self-love is coming in here, a lot of self-acceptance, a lot of unconditional love for yourself, regardless if there's a mistake that's made or if there's a success that's had or nothing, just being and existing. All of those are going to come with equal amounts of unconditional love and freedom from judgment. You're not going to be judging yourself. You're not going to be criticizing yourself any longer. There's an awareness that's happening beneath the surface, And through that awareness, you're going to realize, like, it's okay for me to be seen. It's okay for me to be heard. But the best way to embody that is to do that for myself. And because of that, you're going to be opening up doors for other people to feel free to be authentic and truthful to themselves. I also feel like you're about to be given the blessing of networking with a community. You're going to be calling in soul tribe, soul friendships, collaborations, if that's what you're looking for, even just people to connect with. It doesn't have to necessarily be super deep connections like besties for resties or anything like that. You know, I'm not a bad slime slurp. You guys may love anime. That's just something that's coming in. But yeah, so it's not necessarily besties for resties, but you might be looking for besties for resties, and you know, that's going to come too. But I feel like it's going to come because of this newfound sense of grounded centeredness in being who you are and sharing that, whatever that is, with the world. You know, whether that's through your philosophies, through written word, through spoken word, through art expression, through self-expression, like what you wear, you know, piercings, tattoos, your hair, whatever. It's just, you're no longer going to be like, oh my gosh, what are people going to say? Because you're like, I want to do that, so I'm going to do it. All right, so we're going to look into this a little bit deeper. We're going to find out some more information. I'm going to be using my original deck today, the Tarot Marseille, and then we'll probably ask another question with the tarot, the Wild Unknown Tarot by Kim Kranz. So let's just see. What blessings are you manifesting now? Source, what would you like to share with pile number 1? What blessings are you manifesting now, pile 1? Okay, thank you. Yeah, it feels like the freedom to choose and to leave behind situations that are inhibiting your growth. And, you know, that's also including self, right? Sometimes we inhibit our own growth because of old patterns. And so those old patterns are going to be made aware to you, and you're no longer going to be making yourself feel bad because of some old pattern that's arising under the surface, or something that was subconsciously running you before. What blessings are you manifesting? Yeah, new beginning. What blessings are you manifesting? Letting go of responsibilities that aren't yours. And don't worry about the reversals here and what seem like difficult cards. There's definitely a story to be told anytime tarot comes out, and that's why. Okay, yeah, it looks like there's something here that's coming to an end, okay? And it does feel like some sort of connection with the 3 of coins in the reverse here. So the blessing that's manifesting is truly surrendering this connection that has been super difficult, or even the memory of it, right? So this could have been something that's ended a long time ago, and it was creating a lot of hardships in your life, a lot of unfounded responsibilities that weren't yours to carry, and just overly overwhelming. And it feels like what's going to happen here is that this is the dissolution of a partnership or a connection or situationship. Something is coming to an end. And that's why you're going to be unapologetically who you are. Whatever this situation has been, let's see what this is. Oh yeah. It's a very confining situation. This was a very confining situation. So this could be a father, a Leo, a Sagittarius, Aquarius, a Capricorn that you've been dealing with. This could be a boss. This could be someone that you felt like you had to take care of, or that you had to be there for energetically, emotionally, physically. It could be any of those, or it could be, again, this could be like an ex or a situation that has already passed, but there's still been just a lot of cleansing from that, right? And you might resonate with the collective message that I did at the beginning, which you'll find timestamped down below. If you're interested, you're more than welcome to check that out as well. But this is the completion of a cycle for you here. This is definitely something coming to an end. This is letting go of someone who is very conceited, very arrogant, very stifling. That's what I was saying, like there's this old pattern. This could even be the pattern itself making itself known here. So the blessing is moving on from this, recognizing it for what it is, realizing that you don't have to continue going down this path and feeling controlled by something that is only trying to either gain something from you or to have control over you. Okay, so whatever this is, again, it could be something that's already dead and gone, right? Something that's long gone out of your life, that's been over with for a while, but sometimes it takes a long time to heal from those really exhausting, oppressive relationships that we may have had in our lives. And that's what this feels like. But this does feel like something's coming to light, where there was a lot of guilt that was tied to this. There was a lot of feeling like I owe this person, or I have like some sort of obligation with this situation for whatever reason. And that's okay. Please don't blame yourself for that, right? That is just us playing out what we knew, and you did the best that you could in that time. But it feels like everything is coming to light right now, and whatever it is that has stifled you from being able to set boundaries, to speak your truth, to say even what's on your mind, or to, you know, to say things clearly. Like if somebody's expecting you to play a certain role and that's not a role that you're willing to play, we need to be able to vocalize that. We need to be able to communicate that. And we need to be able to communicate that safely, knowing that we have a right to say how we feel, regardless if it's accepted or approved of by another person. And that's what this feels like, especially with Mercury coming out. This is something that just felt like you always had to bite your tongue when you needed to say something, because this person would get upset, they would ignore you, give you the silent treatment, they would abandon you, they would, you know, make you take care of things that weren't yours to take care of, suddenly give you tons of responsibility. This is what it feels like, that type of energy here. But this type of energy is now being made aware. You've been aware of it for a while, but the blockage that was behind it, the hurdle, the obstacle itself is being made aware to you so that you can actually move over and beyond it. There's no longer letting this overwhelmingly selfish energy have control over you anymore. It's not going to happen anymore. There are these two adorable little dogs outside. Oh, there's 3 of them. Oh, I didn't know there was 3 of them. They're little tiny dogs. And one of them looks like the RCA dog. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember the RCA dog, but he was a little white dog with a little bullseye on his eye, kind of like the Target dog, but not the bull terrier. But it looked like the RCA dog. Anyways, so that might mean something to you, which also makes me feel like this could be something that you're electronically tied to this person, some sort of online community. Or this is somebody that you work with, or this is somebody that you've been trying to disconnect yourself from for a long time, but they're always there energetically. And so it feels like things are coming to an end very quickly, and you're going to just choose yourself in this. You're going to save yourself in this situation. It's like Source is giving you a boost of courage and confidence, and that's the huge blessing that's coming to you. Source, can you tell us more about the blessings that pile number 1 is manifesting right now? Yeah, the ending of something. This could be a family member with Judgment coming in here. It's just, with Judgment, it's something that's really uncomfortable coming to light. And you know, the example that they're showing me is like, maybe there's somebody here that's been lying to you, and you've caught them red-handed lying to you constantly. Like they're always saying, like, they'll even lie. They'll lie, and then they'll lie about the lie, and then they'll lie about the lie that they lied about, right? They're right all together, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Right? And you call them out on that, and then they try to make all these excuses, and you're like, I just caught you. Like, you know you lied about it, right? So it's like that kind of uncomfortable energy that's coming through. And what's happening is that you're shifting. And so instead of like calling this person out, your energy is shifting to where there's going to be some sort of barrier here or some sort of protective shield, to where even if they do it, it's the way that you're going to respond to the situation, which is going to make them eat their own words. That's what this feels like. They're going to eat their own words, or it's going to backfire on them. And this is you moving out of a very challenging situation where everybody's trying to pull you down. All these shadows are trying to pull you down, trying to make you feel small, trying to make you feel like you don't matter, trying to guilt trip you into doing what they want you to do, and you choosing freedom, you choosing yourself. And I feel like that is this is a huge blessing. And for those of you that are looking for monetary gain, like, I understand how frustrating it can be when that's not what the readings are focused on. But again, having these types of blessings are massive, because this is showing just how much healing you've done. And the reward for that is freedom from whatever it was that was holding you back. Situation, person, place, or thing. And that is something to truly celebrate, because it means that you've become so aware of it that your discernment will now help you sidestep those potential difficulties in the future. Yeah, the beginning. So you have the 9 of Wands with the 10 of Wands here, letting go of responsibility for something that was never yours to carry, something that was absolutely so frustrating. You see here, there's a staircase here, and on top of the stairs are these broken branches, these broken trunks of this tree. It's like impossible to climb this staircase because the situation at hand here is impossible. It's impossible. It's like someone wants you to heal them from their heartbreak. How can you heal someone from their heartbreak? You can't, right? Or someone wants you to take responsibility for how they're feeling. How can you take responsibility for the way someone is feeling? You can't. Or like if this is a job that you're working at, someone wants you to be the scapegoat, or someone wants you to take responsibility for their job description while they get paid to do nothing. Like, ultimately, that's going to come out to light. Ultimately, that's going to be seen for what it is. And that's what Source is saying here. Like, this is being seen for what it is. And even if no one else sees this, right, other people, I do feel like it is going to be exposed to the people who it needs to be exposed to. But even if it's not exposed publicly, there's a shift here for you where you're basically saying, bye, I'm done. I'm over this, and there is no going back. There's no backsliding for this, right? And please don't beat yourself up for backsliding. That's part of progress. That's part of healing. We move a little bit forward, we move a little bit back. We move a little bit more forward, and we take a couple steps back. We move like a whole bunch of steps forward, and then we might move halfway back, and we're like, what the heck? That's just part of it, right? That's part of dealing with it, facing it, and making small changes each time we show up. It is pile number 1, manifesting. What blessings are pile number 1 manifesting right now, Source? What more would you like to share with them? Pile number 1, what manifests? What, we're going to get there. What blessings are you manifesting, pile 1? It feels like you guys are really frustrated by this situation. The card doesn't want to come out. I want one more card, but it feels like you guys are really frustrated by this situation right now. And it's like, I felt like I was already over this. I felt like I was already done with this situation. So why is it coming up again? It's like, this is something that's ending for good. Okay. And this is where you're going to be, I mean, to be unapologetically who you are is such a feat in a world that tells us to minimize ourselves. And please celebrate that for yourself. Okay, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Source. So we began with the Sun in the reverse, and we're ending with the Sun in the upright here. And that's just the clarity and being bright and shiny. It's a bright, bright, bright sunshiny day, right? Like, yeah, you're just going to be a bright, sunshiny day. Like, that's the thing. This song came out the other day, too. It's like the Jelly Roll song. It's like, oh, what a beautiful day. I've got this smile on my face 'cause I open up my eyes, right? Like, that's the thing. It's like everything's going to be much better. You're going to feel a lot freer. You're going to feel a lot more at ease, a lot more at peace. Like, and for whatever this situation has been draining your energy massively, you're getting that vitality back tenfold, right? So you're going to have a lot of energy. You might all of a sudden be like, oh my gosh, I need to go run a marathon. Like, where's all this energy coming from? You're going to start completing little tasks, like even menial tasks that just you felt like you had to let slip because you didn't have the energy to focus on, right? Like, you're going to wash your dishes right away, or you're going to, every night, you're going to empty your dishwasher so it's fresh to go in the morning, when before maybe you left it and you didn't empty it till you really felt like you needed to empty it. You know what I mean? Or you're going to be doing your laundry every week now instead of waiting weeks and weeks to do it. That's, and whatever your patterns are. I'm just saying these are the examples they're showing me. It's like, now when you get done with something, you're going to pick up right away instead of leaving things for later. It just feels like your energy was just slipping and slipping and slipping, and so simple tasks were also slipping. You're like, maybe you were waiting too long to take a shower, and whatever that, because that's going to vary for person to person. Not everybody showers every day, and that's not gross, right? Like, that's just how people are. Some people are like that, but then other people shower multiple times a day, right? So maybe you're someone who showered like every few days, and you're like, no, I need to start showering every day to feel better about myself, right? Like, maybe that's a pattern or a habit that you've had before, where you showered every day, but dealing with the situation, you just were feeling depressed and like you didn't have any energy. You couldn't make your bed. You couldn't change your clothes. Like, sometimes you can't even change your clothes. There's a lot of depression that was with this situation. And it feels like that's all going to be given back to you. What was drained? So this is like an energy vampire situation. So what was drained from you is being given back to you. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Emperor, yeah. And you're going to be commanding your existence now. There is no more of this situation having a hold on you, or, you know, trying to demean you or trying to belittle you or anything like that. That's not going to happen anymore. With the Emperor here, it's like you have stepped up into a position of high power, and this situation, person, place, or thing cannot match that energy. And they're like, even if they lash out, it just looks absolutely absurd. They look like the court jester now. And so you might even just laugh at them. Like, if they're trying to make you feel bad, you might just bust out laughing all of a sudden. And they might get mad about that. And the more mad they get, the more comical it looks to you. It's just, you're seeing it for what it really is. You're recognizing that they were trying to you know, suck on your energy, or they were trying to make you feel small so that they had control over you, or they were trying to dictate how you felt each and every day. Like, whatever it was, they really believed that they had the power to do that. And when you're stepping up now into this strong, powerful energy, it's just going to get thrown right back at them. And you're not going to feel bad about it either, where maybe before you did. Like, maybe standing up for yourself, you felt bad for standing up for yourself because you might have people-pleasing tendencies. But see, every time you stood up for yourself, you were rewiring that pattern. That was a pattern that was slowly ending. But it doesn't mean that every time something happened that you were able to stand up for yourself. But every time you chose to stand up for yourself, in spite of it being uncomfortable, you're rewiring that part of your brain. And that's what's happening here. It's like, this is the culmination of all those little steps that you've taken to really combat this type of energy, and you're standing up powerful and strong and empowered even. Yeah, so it could have to do with work, with the 10th house. In fact, I believe you guys chose the 10th house dice too. So again, confirmation here: structure, discipline, life mission, accomplishments, and career. So things are starting to level out for you here when it comes to what your success looks like in your day-to-day life, and finally feeling a sense of peace and calm, and collectively feeling things moving forward instead of at such a standstill. And it's just changing. It's changing you. It's changing everything around you. And I feel like you're going to be really happy about what comes next. This feels like the end of a chapter for you, and you are on your path of purpose. You're doing exactly what you're meant to be doing. Of course, you're going to have slip-ups. Why? Because we're all human. We all make mistakes. That's okay. But learning from those mistakes and not beating yourself up for those mistakes is so potent. And remembering that as you move forward. Yeah, Amaterasu, we have no more hiding. No more hiding. And this feels like powerhouse energy here with Amaterasu. It's like this very powerful energy that's coming forth where it's like people recognize that you have so much to offer, that you have so much to say, and that you have so much wisdom to share. There's no hiding that anymore. Like, people cannot deny who you are. Even if this is somebody who's been trying to deny you, been trying to stuff you back into some box that they think that you belong in. It's that people around you are seeing your value. And there's no more running from yourself any longer, right? Again, embracing yourself authentically, being unapologetically who you are. And that doesn't matter. Even if you work a 9 to 5, like, that doesn't matter. You can still show up from a very authentic place. And in that authenticity, you can offer so much beneficial wisdom and guidance and help and assistance to your position and to the company, that you can be noticed for that, right? Like, it's not just about building your own business. Not everybody's out there trying to build a business. Not everybody's out there trying to build spiritual businesses. Like, some people are still in this energy of the world needs to be run, right? The way the world's been run. And that's okay. I feel like it's still quite a ways out before we really truly walk away from the 9 to 5s, and that's fine. There's nothing, I'm not saying this to make you feel bad about that if that's where you're at, or even if you're on 10 to 10s, you know, like, whatever it is that you work, it doesn't matter. It's just saying, like, if you still work for a company, that's fine. You're in your path of purpose. You're doing what you're meant to do. Like, you're making progress. You can still be seen in that way. This is a very vulnerable thing for you with Meadow coming out here. Right? No more hiding, Amaterasu, with vulnerability here. There's no more putting yourself on the back burner in hopes to fit in. Now it's basically, I don't care if I fit in or not. I'm tired of diminishing myself because other people have a problem with me. You know, one thing I will always say, it's like, I too am guilty of the people pleasing. Like, I dealt with it my whole life. I didn't have an identity because I assumed everybody else's identity because I wanted everybody to like me. And doing what I do now, like putting myself out there in this way, like, this is a very vulnerable thing, exposing myself to you, right? And what I've learned is that some people are just going to have a problem with you and not really know why they have a problem with you. And it's okay. Like, it's okay when you can embrace that and recognize that you're not for everybody and everybody's not for you. Move on, right? In fact, I think I love Julian himself, if you know who that is, but you could definitely check out his YouTube channel. This guy is so amazing. I love him. He's wild. It wouldn't surprise me if he's an Aquarius, because he totally gives off Aquarius vibes. And if he doesn't, that's just how authentic he is. He's just really true to himself. And I love watching his videos. But, you know, there was this one video that I watched of him, and he's like telling this one girl she wanted to be loved by everybody. And he's like, why? And she's like, because I feel like I have to be. And he goes on to explain it. But one of the things that he said there was, you know what? When someone says they hate you, say good. I'm glad you told me so that we don't have to waste our time. So sometimes it's just worth being in that energy. And that's, you know, hey, I'm glad you figured out you don't like me. I'm glad you figured out we don't resonate with each other. Now we can both move on. Good luck. Bye. No hard feelings, no bad mouthing, no taking it personal. Because it's not personal. Even if people try to make it personal, it's not personal. It's theirs to deal with. It's not yours to assume. It's not yours to carry, right? Don't take on that burden. Just say, hey, cool, we don't resonate. Good luck. I hope you find the people you do. Move on. And don't even think about it after that, right? Yeah, communion. There's something here that's going to be gifted to your soul, to your heart, to your intuition with communion, eagle energy here. Seeing things from a much higher perspective. But this is some sort of communication that's coming from higher up the chain So whatever you believe in, but from Source specifically coming in here and giving you this courage to say enough is enough. I'm not going to go down this road anymore. I'm not going to feel guilty for saying no. I'm not going to let you put the blame on me because I chose myself. I'm not going to let you put responsibilities on me that are not mine to carry. I'm going to choose myself. And so it's like Source has given you the key to move beyond this, to open the door and walk away. And I feel like it's just like finally for some of you, I feel it, the relief is so real. Yeah, I feel it melting off of my shoulders because it just feels like it's been something like, I've been doing everything in my power. Like, when are things going to change? And Source was asking you to have resilience with this situation so that you were preparing yourself to truly let go, to not look back anymore. Because whatever the situation is, it's like you felt like you were tied to it, right? And being tied to something. So like if this was a family member, say it's like, you know, a family member with what we had with Judgment here. Sometimes that obligation of family comes above everything else. And so we'll say goodbye, but then we'll look back and we'll come back and we'll put ourselves through that situation again. And so this endurance that you've had through this situation has happened so that when you finally said enough is enough and Source handed you the key, you could walk away and be free. There is no looking back because you know there's nothing you can do to change the situation. And so the blessing is knowledge. The blessing is wisdom. The blessing has been experience. And you're going to take all of that with you into this new chapter on your journey. Yeah, we have 41. Your loved ones are safe. Let go of your fear and worry for your loved ones. I'm looking after them. So again, when we're talking about family, this could very well be a family member. You know, feeling like you owe them something, or feeling like, well, you know, like if it's a parent or something like that, or even a sibling, like feeling like, well, you know, we've been in each other's lives and so we owe it to each other, but they don't act like that with me. They expect me to just give them everything and they don't give anything back. And realizing walking away is truly surrendering them to Source at that point. It's saying, you know what, I have to take care of me and I have to trust that Source is going to look after them the best that Source can, right? Because we can't control where they're at any longer. We just can't. What blessings are you manifesting now, pile one? What more would you like to say for them, Source? Thank you. Bottom, step out of your comfort zone, North Node. Yeah. So not only are you on your North Star path, but this is going to be something that asks you to step out of your comfort zone. It's going to ask you to be comfortable with getting uncomfortable. And it's going to be something that brings a lot of positive change to your life. And it's going to be very beautiful. And I feel like you're going to be very happy because of this shift that's happening within you. And please remember, every day you have a choice. Like, you don't have to wait until the key comes. Like, you can make a choice today. Like we said, every choice you make, that's rewiring the patterns within your mind. And so that's taking initiative. Stay grounded. So it's important for you to stay grounded throughout this transition. It's important for you to stay grounded within yourself. Because there will be moments when you want to come up out of yourself. There's this beautiful blue butterfly that's just flying by right now. Beautiful. But trusting in the process, trusting in your truth, trusting in what you need to say. Yeah, see, shadow period. Proceed with caution. There's no need to rush this. Okay, you can make the choices when they come, but don't try to don't try to instigate situations to instigate change, right? Like, that's not what this is. It's just when the moment arises, be present with it and choose yourself. But don't feed into this energy that these people, these places, or these things have. So I'm going to get 2 angel cards. We're going to get 1 romance angel just in case this is a love situation. And then we're going to get 1 from the abundance angels as well, because it does feel like this is a work situation. But we have romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So this could be an ex, but I do feel like this is just that reminder that romantic feelings are going to manifest on the other side of this if that's what you're looking for. There's going to be someone who comes in who sees you and wants to be a part of your life and give you love like you've never received loved before. Wow. For pile number 1, Source. That's the one right there. Thank you. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have gratitude list. Counting your blessings and feeling gratitude for what you already have helps you be centered in your heart instead of fixated on worries in your mind. What and who are you grateful for right now? Keep focusing upon gratitude and you'll discover the amazing generosity of this universe. Now, I cannot remember, because we've been here together for a while now, if it was your pile or if it was the collective reading, but I mentioned at some point on this reading today that we take so much for granted, right? It's not just about monetary gain. It's about all the things that are good in our lives, like the roof over our head, the food on our table, the bed that we have to rest at night, in my case, the working air conditioner that's finally working, right? Like the dogs that we have in our lives, the cats that we have in our lives, the companions, the animals, the reptiles, shoot, even tarantulas and octopuses or whatever, right? Like all of that matters. And it's reminding ourselves that it's not just monetary gain is something worth being grateful for. There's so many things that we have to be grateful for that we actually take for granted because they're part of our everyday lives. You know, it's like having a working phone. That's a blessing. That's something worth being grateful for. Having working internet. That's a blessing. That's something that's worth being grateful for. It's like we don't think about it because it's just a part of our lives. And those are the things that when we show gratitude for, we open ourselves up to having even more blessings coming in. And being genuinely grateful, like not just saying it because, oh, I should probably just say this, like being genuinely grateful for those things will open up doors to even more blessings coming in. Okay, yeah, the moon, satisfy emotional needs, nurturing of the self and others. So definitely this self-love that's coming in, no longer ignoring your needs and what matters to you. Sacred medicine, Asclepios here. So we have this sacred healing. This is divine healing that's happening, okay? And then Archangel Michael says, trust your angels. Let go of your expectations on how your dreams will come true. Trust that heaven has a perfect plan. So things are working out for you, okay? Everything is coming together. But sometimes our lives need to fall apart in order for them to fall back together in the way that's best for us. And that can be really difficult. And we have a tendency to overstay our welcome or hold on too tight when it comes to those things. And there's no need to beat ourselves up for that. It's just being aware, right? When those moments happen and then choosing ourselves again, right? That's all it is. New moon in Capricorn, your hard work is paying off. Yeah, so good things are coming for you, okay? Things are going to be working out for you in your highest good here. Not only are you walking away from this person, I feel like as soon as you're able to truly let go of this situation, person, place, or thing, as soon as you're truly able to let go with a content heart, all of a sudden there's going to be this like whirlwind of multiple blessings that come in. Love, monetary, moving, a new home, a new car, like, you know, a new sense of perspective, a new sense of well-being, a new sense of self-care, like whatever it is, right? Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. Okay, so there might be somebody here that you're trying to manifest. And this is that reminder that giving them a chance is worth your time. But also not being so attached to the outcome of the situation either. I feel like this is just saying, like, if this is a relationship that you're dealing with, it's not necessarily this relationship, but it's giving yourself a chance too. I feel like that's the thing here. Okay, so always listen to your intuition. I'm not going to tell you to break up with anybody. I'm not going to tell you that like leaving a person means that you have to cut them out of your life. Sometimes leaving is just moving to a new location. Sometimes it's literally just choosing to create for ourselves, even in the same home, right? Like there's all different variants of that. So remember to listen to your intuition. Savings. As you consistently save for your future is saved. You do your future self a big favor as you consistently set aside present funds. This is a part of your self-care and path to feeling secure as you focus upon your life purpose. So another thing is to save for the future here, right? And I actually said this in a reading not that long ago, but a great book, it's an audiobook you can find on YouTube to check out, is The Richest Man in Babylon. I will always recommend this. I've recommended it to my nieces and nephews. I have talked to everybody that I can. If money ever comes up, like I always recommend this because it's such a powerful book. But one of the things in there talks about saving 30% for yourself, and that can seem like so much, but in the long run, you are paying yourself first before you even pay your bills. And if you can't live by taking 30% for yourself, then you're not living within your means. And so there might be a need to look at your finances, to reassess things for yourself. But check it out if you feel called to it, or maybe even looking into investments as well. I just recently got A Simple Path to Wealth, and I can't remember the author, but the title of the book is A Simple Path to Wealth, and it's an incredible book about investments. So if investing is something that you're interested in, that might be something you would like to look at. Also, another good book, and I can't remember the author is that oh my gosh, if I can remember, Warren Buffett Invests Like a Girl. It sounds so weird, but it's a great book, and it's a really good reminder that there's no reason to rush anything, right? Small, tiny steps have the potential to make huge changes after a time has passed. So let's take a look at your card. I'm going to read this from the book. We're going to find out what it says. We have Against Nature. This is interesting. This feels like a black stain on your life and just in general, right? Like it's against nature. It's against your nature. Whatever this situation that you've been dealing with, it's like every time that you have to fight back, it goes against who you really are. You know, like you might be somebody who's just very peaceful. You don't really like a lot of conflict. It doesn't mean that you're not capable of confrontation. It doesn't mean you're not capable of it, but it might be something that's naturally just not your resting state. Like your resting state could be like, I'm going to listen to what you have to say. I'm going to say what I have to say. And then we'll come together like two adults and figure it out, right? And level-headed and calm and peaceful. There's no need for us to rise up out of ourselves. There's no need for us to scream and yell. There's no need for us to take it out on each other. And so I feel like whatever this situation you've been dealing with, it's been against your nature, your true nature, which is to deal with things from a very level-headed place. This situation has been really testing your patience. That's what this feels like. And you have the patience of a saint. And I feel like the situation is aware of that and doing everything in their power to press the buttons. But also, when you do choose to go against your nature and to step up into that very uncomfortable place of standing up for yourself, or a very uncomfortable place of truly confronting them head on, they quickly recoil and go into hiding because they were not prepared for what they were met with. And that's why it's like against your nature. It's not that you can't, but it's just not something that you normally would. That's not like your first place to go. Like your first place to go is let's resolve this peacefully. And that's what it feels like here. And so let's take a look at what this says from the book. And I feel like this is going to be new for you too, is being able to face people from this calm state of mind, where if there is conflict, if there is discrepancies, if there is like even an argument, right? It's not going to turn into some full blown out thing like you've experienced in the past. Rather, it's going to be something that you're able to come together right now over me. Yeah, so the Beatles. Yeah, I feel like it's just going to be something where you guys can talk it out and overcome it together in a very peaceful way. This says willfulness and to force or to control. Yeah, so this is a very controlling situation here. Think of the card as trying to force a square peg into a round hole. There's likely a solution waiting for you to see it. Shake things up, dance, tell a joke, take a break. It says, oh, hold on just a second. Okay. Be mindful of this card if this card appears with the Saturn or the Iron card. So if you watch any of the other piles and one of those cards comes out, this is especially very important message for you. But if not, that's fine. You don't have to watch any of the other piles if you didn't feel called to them, okay? All three indicate an overarching structure that may need revisioning. It says on some level we all know when we are going against nature. We recognize it in feelings of impatience and agitation that arise when trying to force certain outcomes. The Contra Naturam card arrives to remind the alchemist that they cannot control the uncontrollable. Nature has its way, enveloping us in a wild narrative that we can collaborate in but not dictate. No matter our efforts to manage every aspect of our lives, the mess ensues. Spring is soggy. The lotus requires mud. People do what they do. People are always going to be peopling. That's the thing. This card heeds a warning not to fight the flow of Mother Nature or of destiny. Once we loosen the grip of what we think we should look like, a whole new realm of possibility awakens. Now is the time to be radically open to what nature has in store for you. To go deeper, watch the Talking Heads music video, Nothing But Flowers, and to ponder what we resist persists. So this is definitely something that you might have been resisting, and so it has been persisting. But I also feel like part of that was because of a lack of awareness on, you know, just the journey itself, something that was being run by your subconscious, and now it's coming to light for you and you're able to make better choices. But also Source is giving you a boost of energy to face this head on without the fear of recoil. And so going against your nature has been holding on to this situation for so long. But again, there was some energy that was feeling like I had to hold on to that, and that's okay. But now the awareness is that this is going against nature. It's been a stain on your soul. It's been a stain on your journey. It's been a stain on you. And now you're saying enough is enough. Like, I don't need this anymore. I don't need to hold on to this anymore. I'm just going to let bygones be bygones. Like, if you don't talk, does this person ever try to initiate conversation with you? If you don't react, what happens, right? Like, there's just sometimes you just have to let things play out. It doesn't mean rolling over and being a doormat, but sometimes not reacting means if someone's trying to come up out of themselves and to get you involved in a fight, it's okay to pack your bag and go take a drive, right? Just leave. You don't need to explain yourself. Just leave. Walk out the door. Sometimes leaving them in the same energy that they're trying to bring to you is the best possible thing that you can do. And that's not by giving it back to them. That's just by letting them create their own unclean atmosphere. Okay? So this is what I have for you here today, Pile 1. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little earth emoji down below and say, I elicit change by choosing myself. And today, moving forward, I will always choose myself, whether that's standing up for, speaking my truth, or saying what needs to be said. I speak freely and clearly now. And if it resonated with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find everything you need in the description box. I'd like to take a second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very powerful message today. And until next time, Pile number 1, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with Virgo on it, just something to choose from. Or if you felt called to this gold unicorn pin. Or perhaps you felt called to this card during the shuffle. This is going to be a reading on what blessings are you manifesting now. We're all here sharing this human experience together. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you're new here, thank you so much for joining us. I do things differently here on this channel, so there might be triggering statements that arise on the readings themselves. There's no obligation to force it to fit, while keeping in mind that triggers can be a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journeys. If the messages happen to resonate with you, it'd mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. It's a free way to help support the channel. And please know that your time, your energy, and your presence are a true gift and a blessing, and I'm deeply honored to be here sharing it with you today. Really quickly, this is a influenced video by my members, so thank you, members, for suggesting this. I'm actually going to be posting some more polls for the members in order for them to influence some of the upcoming channels readings, and if that's something that you would be interested in, you can definitely check out memberships, which is below in the description box. Not a requirement, but it is there for those of you that are interested in it. And so I just want to say thank you to the members for suggesting this, and we're going to get into it, okay? So pile number 2, what blessings are you manifesting right now? What blessings are you manifesting now? Okay, so we've got the 7th house, we've got Neptune, and we've got Sagittarius. It looks like blessings of relationships are coming in with the 7th house here. So you could be interested in love, or that's something that you're trying to manifest. Very clear energy here with the 7th house, but it doesn't have to be romantic love. It could be platonic, it could be friendship, partnership. Maybe you need a partner for a business endeavor, or for something that you're trying to build, or you're trying to partner up with someone. Like, so the example they're showing me here is like a children's book, like you're writing a children's book, but you need someone to illustrate it. And so partnering up with an illustrator or someone who's an artist, or you're a songwriter needing to partner up with someone who will actually sing the song for you, right? Like, so it could be some kind of a partnership like that. It doesn't have to be those specific things. It's just something along those lines where you need someone to help collaborate and move to the next level. Okay, so this is something that you're manifesting right now. It does feel like there's going to be a lot of abundance between you and this person or these people. So the other example they're showing me is like if you're an author, maybe this is the collaboration with like an editor or a publishing house, like a publishing company that's going to help you, right? So something along those lines. Again, it doesn't have to be those specific things, but those are the ones that are coming through right now. I feel like this is something that you're really going to be super excited about too. It's going to come out of the blue, right? Even me telling you about this, like, you're still not going to see it when it comes. So there's no need to hold on to it. Just allow it to come when it comes and be super grateful for it when it arises. But I do feel like there's just something here that you haven't been very clear on, and you've been worried about it. You've been doing your best to follow your intuition. It's like, I'm doing my best. I'm trying to do what I need to do and to go down this path that you feel called to go down. But there's still a lot of unknowns. There's still a lot of things that you're just not sure about. And there's still a lot of things that feel very uncertain. But you keep walking the path. And every time you walk the path, you get a little bit more confident, a little bit more sure-footed, even though you're not seeing what's in front of you. But I do feel like there's a lot of trusting in source, trusting in your own abilities, believing in yourself, trusting your intuition that's coming through here, and it is paying off. And so the blessing that you're manifesting right now is some sort of collaboration, some sort of connection, some sort of relationship. Okay, so let's move into this a little bit more and see what else source would like to say. So you could be manifesting a Pisces, a Libra, or a Sagittarius into your life. You could have Sagittarius in the 7th house, in Neptune in the 7th house as well. You could also have 12th house stellium, 7th house stellium, or a 9th house stellium is coming in. All right, so if I keep going, we'll be here all day just talking about astrology points. So and if none of that resonates with you, that's okay. That's just for someone who needed that additional confirmation. Okay, so what blessing are you manifesting now, pile 2? Someone who's very emotionally mature, especially after a lot of failed situationships. I do feel like you've had a lot of things that have fallen through, whether it's been friendships, partnerships, business partnerships, like romantic relationships. I feel like all of your connections have just been truly one-sided or have been very manipulative at some point in time. And so it does feel like for you, pile 2, there's definitely this reserved energy where it's like, I mean, I know the good things are out there for me, but you know, I mean, it really hasn't happened for me yet. So I know you're saying it's coming, but I don't know. Like, I want to believe, but I don't know. And that's like, it's just a very reserved, not necessarily resistant, because I feel like you do believe, like your heart definitely is telling you that this is something that's real, like this is something that's coming to you, this is something that is meant to be in your life, is that stable type of relationship. But I also think that it's just hard, like if you've never experienced that, it is hard. It's hard to imagine what that could even be like. And so do your best to keep visualizing what that looks like to you. Even if you had to visualize your clone, right? Like yourself as your best friend, do that, because sometimes that's easier than trying to put someone else in that position. But if you were your own best friend, like what would that look like, right? Yeah, it feels a little bit dangerous to trust, to fully like surrender into that trust. That's something that's coming through here. But let's get some more. What blessing are you manifesting right now, pile 2? Whoa, stay on the table, my friend. What blessing are you manifesting right now, pile 2? Thank you, source. Okay, and as I explained to pile 1, don't fret over the reversals. There's always a story that has to come out with tarot, and that's why. Yeah, okay. What do we got here? Wow. You know, there's a lot of self-blame here for you, pile 2. It's almost like, because when I saw the Queen of Wands in the upright, I heard the common denominator. And it's like you're feeling like you're the common denominator in all these situations. It's like, you know, you deserve whatever it is you're asking for, whatever kind of connection you're asking for. You know you deserve that. But also you can't help but wonder, like, is there something that I'm doing personally? Because it seems like, you know, they're all of my connections that are failing. And so I feel like, especially with Neptune here, you've definitely had a lot of guilt and self-blame for your journey and for yourself and how things have played out. You know, like if you've had friendships that have ended really badly, even though maybe those friends were truly toxic, you still assumed blame where there wasn't blame for you to assume. And, you know, like relationships and romantic relationships, maybe they were all, you know, again, manipulative or toxic people for you. That doesn't mean that they're toxic people for the world, but they, again, you know, like sometimes we just don't get along with people, or we don't resonate with people, and that could be toxic for us, right? It doesn't make them a terrible person, but they might have been. What I'm saying though is that it's just like, you know, you were still assuming things that were not yours to assume in those situations, or it's like, well, but maybe I could have done this, or maybe I could have said this, or maybe I could have acted like this instead. And so there's something here that feels very dangerous to you, to inviting in love or inviting in even just connection. I feel like you've been in a sense of isolation for a really long time. Yeah. So this could be someone, like, you could be asking for a same-sex relationship. Okay. And again, that doesn't have to be romantic. That could be platonic. Like if you're a woman, you want to have a woman friend, right? Like you want to have a sisterhood. You want to have someone you can go shopping with, or you want to have someone you can have drinks with. Or if you're a man, you want to have a bro, right? Like you want to have somebody you can go hunting with, or you can go fishing with, or you can go throw back some beers with. If those aren't your things, that's cool. But you know what I'm saying. It's this energy where you want to be able to kick back with somebody and feel like you can be yourself, and to really regard yourself in whatever you identify with, a man, a woman, non-binary, you know, gender fluid, whatever. So that's what this feels like, is someone who mirrors you fully with the Queen of Cups here and the Queen of Wands. But it's like, I'm scared because everything in the past has been very superficial, and I haven't trusted myself. Even when you thought maybe you had that solid relationship, or when you had that remarkable connection with somebody, it's like, I really thought this was going to be different. I really thought this was going to be deeper. I really thought this was going to be all encompassing, but then something happened and it fell apart. And it always feels like something is revealed that's very uncomfortable in regards to that. But I also feel like because you're fighting the mother wound here, especially for guys too, this is coming in for guys, you know, like the mother wound is present with both the moon and the judgment in reverse here. Plus you have the popess and you have all these queens, right? This is definitely pointing towards the mother wound and not knowing how to receive love, but always being put in a position where you had to give love, or you had to monitor others' emotions, or you had to monitor the rooms to save yourself from chaotic situations. So the mother wound is present here, where it's like, I'm not sure how to receive. I know how to give, but I don't know how to receive. I don't know how to ask for help. I don't know how to vocalize what I need in a relationship to make it sound, you know, where I'm not being demanding, or to make it where I'm not being, you know, selfish. And that's something that's really uncomfortable, but it's like something shifting here for you. And the blessing is learning how to take authority for yourself. And in that authority for yourself, you're learning how to be compassionate to your needs and your wants and your desires. And when you show that compassion to yourself, you're able to show that compassion out in the relationship itself. It's not that you haven't done that before, but I feel like many of you, Pile 2, were always in a state of over-giving. Like you were someone that over-explained, you over-gave, you just did so much for the other person to feel valued and to feel worthy, but still felt lonely, like still felt like you weren't seen, still felt like you weren't heard, still felt like nobody understood who you were. And so what's happening is this shift where now you're valuing yourself because you realize having breath in your lungs is value, right? That makes you valuable. You're alive. That makes you valuable. You don't have to be somebody. You don't have to do something. You don't have to be successful. You don't have to be a failure. You don't have to be experienced. You don't have to be anything. Being you is value. It's worthy, and you're worthy, right? Like, and so that's something that's shifting here for you. And the blessing that you're manifesting is someone who's mirroring that back to you in a very profound way. You see each other. You see each other. And even through the difficulties that you both will inevitably face. I mean, I'm not trying to make it sound difficult or negative by any means. It's just, to connect with another person means eventually there's going to be conflict, right? No one is free from conflict. But when you truly care about people and when they truly care about you, it's how you guys come together to resolve that conflict, not trying to eradicate conflict, but how you step up together and say, okay, we love each other. We care about each other so much. Like, we don't want this conflict to be the end of us. So let's come together. What can we compromise? What can we agree on? What can we change together? Right? That's what a relationship is. That's what a healthy relationship is. It's not without conflict. It's just showing that when conflict inevitably arises because you have two people with differing beliefs, differing perspectives, differing ideas in the world, different minds, different ideas, right? Like eventually conflict will arise. And now what's happening is that Source is bringing you someone who is going to meet you face to face, no matter what. Like if you disappear, they're not going to judge you. When you come back, they're going to be excited that you're there, right? They're not going to, this is not somebody who's going to judge you based on what they expect you should be. They're taking you as you come, and you're doing the same for them, which is something that you've always been doing your whole life, but you've never had someone do that for you. And so the blessing that you're manifesting is someone who's seeing you as you are in this moment, which can also feel incredibly scary. And I feel like that's also why there's a little bit of reserved energy here too, because it's like, yes, you want someone to see and understand you, but that's also a very vulnerable and open in a sense of like, now I feel unprotected. And so you might find yourself closing yourself off at times. But here's the thing, like even if you close yourself off to this person, I feel like you're still going to get called back to them time and time again. And the reason being is because this is somebody who's meant to be on your journey with you. And this is somebody who's going to help you to new heights on your spiritual journey and your emotional and mental healing. Like they're there to help support you through that. And whether you know it or not, Pile 1, you're going to be there to help them through that as well. And they're not going to just, at the first sign of difficulties, they're not going to write you off. That's not how they look at it. They recognize that you got a lot going on. And I'm sure that as this unfolds, they're going to see just the same as you're going to see with them, that you both have had very parallel lives and that you both have had some really difficult things to go through. But honestly, if I'm being real, it does feel like this person may be a little bit more spiritually advanced than you are. And that's not saying that you are falling behind or anything. It's just that they may have started their journey earlier, or there's something that they unlocked in their journey a lot faster. And again, it's not like sometimes we need that. We need someone who's more advanced than us to help lead us on our journey, right? Like we all need that because we can't always be the mentor. Sometimes we need to be the student. But I'm not saying they're like eons ahead of you. This just feels like they're a few steps ahead of you, and they're reaching back and they're saying, come on, let's go together. And that's what they're doing. And you're wanting to reach out and grab their hand. And you do sometimes, but also you find yourself letting go at times. And it's because it feels dangerous, and because it's unfamiliar. It's unfamiliar territory. But it's also something that's helping you deal with family trauma that you've been through as a child, where you didn't receive safe love, and where you didn't receive a safe space to express your emotions, where this person or these people, it could be even a group of people. It does feel like one particular person, but it could be a group of people, right? This person is going to give you a safe space to express your emotions. They're not going to judge you based on how you feel. Like if you're angry, they're going to sit down next to you and let you lean on them, or they're going to let you yell and not take it personal, because they know that you're not mad at them. They know that you're not taking it out on them. They know that you just need a minute to express your anger, and they're just going to sit with you and hold your hand through it while you do it. And if you need to cry, they're going to cry with you, not because of anything other than you need the support. Right? It's not to gain anything from you. It's just truly to be a friend. It's truly to be a support system for you. It's truly to be someone that cares about you. And it's like they know that you need that, and they know that you also offer that for them. And it's something that they admire and appreciate and just respect so much about you. And the funny thing is that you guys are very opposite of each other. Like this is like an opposites attract. So if this is a love relationship that's coming in, again, it could be any type of relationship, okay? But if this is a love relationship that's coming in, they're very opposite to you. Like they're not what you would normally go after in a love relationship. Like they might be somebody that you're just like, I don't usually fall in love with people like this. Like I have a certain type, and they're totally different than your type. This could be someone like, we have like water and oil, like you guys wouldn't seem to mix, but somehow it works out perfectly, right? Like it makes, I don't know, it makes cooking easier. I don't know, like whatever, it's just coming through there, right? This is something like, again, with a water sign, a Cancer, and an Aries coming together, right? But it's like somehow it works. So this could be you have Cancer sun and they have a Cancer moon. Or you have an Aries sun and they have an Aries moon. So this could be someone who, excuse me, has the same sun sign as your moon sign, or vice versa, right? And you guys end up getting along really well. Like you guys just really mesh with each other because you understand each other. And it feels like a very forgiving and freeing place. So if this is like a business venture, this is someone who's going to help you express your ideas in a new way, and you're going to help them express their ideas in a new way. Source, can you give us some more about this situation for pile number 1? Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune. Good fortune. This is good fortune for you. This is everything that you've put out being brought back to you in one person or in a group of people. Like they're just going to come in. I hear that song, like a thief in the night, I'm coming for your heart, I'm coming for your heart. Yeah, I don't know who sings that song. I want to say maybe the band is Bad Karma, but I'm not sure. It could be Axe, what is it called? Axe Thief or something like that. I don't know. It's a dubstep band anyways, you know. But yeah, there's that song, and it's coming in, and it's like they're just going to come in, and it's not going to be something that you're expecting. Like, because they're not going to be the type of person that you're expecting to come in. But they're going to be everything that you've ever asked for. What are you manifesting right now? What blessing are you manifesting right now? Whoa, thank you. Whoa, hello cards, calm down. Let's come back together. So we've got the Queen of Swords here. Yeah, a very open and communicating relationship or connection here. This is where both of you say exactly what you need to say when you need to say it, and there's no hiding from each other anymore. Like, not that you guys have ever hidden from each other, but there's no hiding. Like, they're not going to hide anymore because they know they need to be open with you. You're not going to hide anymore because you know you need to be open with them. I don't feel like you guys have ever hidden from each other. I just feel like in general, like there's been times in life where you guys have felt like you had to hide, and now that's not going to happen. In fact, you guys can be super blunt with each other, and it's like almost an endearing energy. Like you both find it very endearing, the other one saying what they need and being open and honest. And it's a brutal honesty. Like it's like if they don't like something that you're doing, like, and they need to set a boundary, and they're going to tell you, hey, pile 2, I don't like that you're doing that. I need to set a boundary with you, and we can't do that anymore. And even though that can be misconstrued and feel like it's very personal, you're not going to take it personal, and vice versa. Like if you need to do the same thing with them, rather you both are going to take it as like, hey, I'm glad that you were able to be honest with me and tell me that. I'll totally do my best to change that moving forward, and if I ever step over the line, just point it out to me so that way I can make a change on the spot. Let's not let this fester. But that's the type of connection that you guys are going to have. Like you're going to be really straightforward with each other, and it's like if something's bothering you, you're going to mention it on the spot. It's going to be super healing for both of you. What blessing are you manifesting right now, pile number 2? Thank you, source. Okay. So we've got, yeah, judgment. This came out. Look, we have judgment in the reverse with judgment in the upright. This is a culmination of things for you. This is the return of that energy tenfold. And it's like they're going to be somebody that's there for you for a long time. Like this is not just a season type of connection. That's not what this feels like. This feels very like a permanent fixture. You're going to be a permanent fixture in each other's lives. It's a very, very serious thing. You guys are going to be very clear about what you need from the other. And you guys, because of that honesty, you're going to build a connection like few have seen before. And people are going to look at you, and if this is a romantic relationship, people are going to call you a true power couple. Not because you appear to be one, but because they're going to see that honesty. They're going to see that openness with each other, and they're going to be like, wow, that's the true definition of a power couple. If this is a sisterhood, they're going to be like, wow, you guys are so good with each other. You're so open with each other. You're so honest with each other. And it's the same with the brotherhood. They're seeing that camaraderie. They're seeing that, you know, like, no matter what, you guys have put the hands in the fire for each other. But you also recognize that if I need to say something, I can say it and feel safe in saying it with them. And they can do the same with me. We're not taking what happens personally, because we need to come into the state of realizing that we're allowed to set boundaries in a safe and healthy way and not feel like it's a problem because we need this boundary. Yeah, this is a new beginning for you. This is coming, and I feel like this is a gift from source. This is a true gift from source. It's from all the work that you put out there, all the love that you've given to others, all the help that you've provided others with, everything that you've done in your life. And this is just a person, like the manifestation of a physical person back into your life that's going to be very supportive and fiercely. And when I say this, pile 2, let me be clear. This is someone who is fiercely protective of you. Like they are not going to let people, they're not going to let people bully you over. They're not going to let people bully you. They're going to be very, very protective of you. And they're also going to tell you, like, if they notice someone's bullying you, they're going to say something to that person. And then they're also going to, when they have a moment with you, you're going to be like, pile 2, like that person was really bullying you. I hope that you know it's okay that you say something. Like I will defend you every time, but also I'm encouraging you to say something for yourself, because that's not right. That's not fair to you. You need to stand up for yourself, and they're not going to make you feel bad about it either. Like they're just going to be like, I hope you know, like I'll always go to bat for you, but you know, it's okay for you to stand up for yourself too. Don't feel bad, and don't think that it's a, you know, like you need to feel guilty for standing up for yourself. So it's like, this is somebody who, if you had people pleasing tendencies, like I said, you guys had parallel lives, but it's almost like the choices you made in your lives were opposite of each other. Like you might have been a people pleaser and they might have been very blunt, right? Or you maybe were very blunt and they were a people pleaser, and somehow bringing those two together, you guys level out what the other is missing, and it becomes a very harmonious, synchronistic relation, or synergistic relationship. Okay? Yeah, square. A challenging situation and a mountain to climb. Like this is because you guys have dealt with some really difficult situations in the past. All the challenges that you've gone through, it's being returned tenfold. Whoa, okay. Well, this card was so weird. I was trying to shuffle, and when I picked up the card like this, it literally just flipped out like that. And it wasn't the one on the bottom, because the one on the bottom was the Lilith card. And so it just, but the way that it flipped out was so weird. Okay. Believe in yourself. Yeah, this is, again, vulnerability, right? She's just got this bead necklace on that's covering her. So this is someone you're going to be free to be vulnerable with, but I also feel like you're going to feel exposed by them. But being exposed by them is somehow empowering to you as well. So we do have sexual wisdom with Kadesh here. And this is just pointing out that this could very well be a romantic connection. Okay, so this is also going to be sexually healing, where if you've had any issues with the sacral chakra or with expressing yourself sexually, they're going to help give you the freedom to express that part of yourself. And again, even if it's just a friendship, they're still going to help you open up to that part of yourself in a very safe, expressive way. Okay, so whether you're two bros, two sisters, or you're part of the LGBTQ plus community, which I'm sorry I don't know all the things for, but you guys know what I mean, or if this is a romantic relationship for a heterosexual couple, whatever it is, right? They're just going to help you open up and let yourself be fierce. And again, this fierceness is coming through with the lioness, right? They're very protective of you. They're very, very protective of you. And so if they see somebody stepping out of line, like, they're going to be somebody who steps forward and says something, but they're also definitely going to encourage you to do that for yourself. And if you don't know how, like, they're going to show you how to do it. Like, they're going to give you examples. You're going to be like, hey, you could say something like this, or, you know, try this next time, or just try it next time and see what comes up for you. But they're not judging you. Like, they're never going to judge you, but they want you to be able to stand up for yourself, because I feel like that's something that you might have struggled with before, or vice versa. You're going to do that for them. Like, if you're the person who's always learned to stand up for yourself, you've never taken anybody's crap, which could be true, right? So take what resonates, but that's what's coming through. We have DNA karma. Yeah, this is the clearing out of the karma. This is the clearing out of the DNA. Those things, those generational curses are ending. And because of that, it's opening up a new chapter, a new door. What did I say? This is a synergistic relationship, and we have synergy coming out with the green man. It's like you guys exist in harmony with each other, even if you're vastly different, right? And the best way to describe this is that the trees breathe in what we breathe out, right? Like, we breathe out carbon monoxide, I think is CO2, yeah, carbon monoxide, and they breathe out oxygen. So what they breathe out, we breathe in. What we breathe out, they breathe in. That's a synergistic relationship. It's what we're missing. We each have what the other is missing in order for us to survive, right? Like that, without bees, the flowers would die, right? They're completely different from each other. Bees take to the air. Flowers stay grounded, right? They're just totally opposite of one another. And that's what this feels like. It feels like someone who's just your complete opposite. It's almost like you laugh, like you guys might have this conversation where you're like, you know, in my past, I probably would have never connected with you because you're just not the type of person I would have ever invited in. And that makes me sad because you're the exact type of person that I've needed this whole time. And I feel like it's something that you guys are going to joke about and laugh about too. All is in perfect timing. The door is opening. Yeah, this is it. It's time to take action now. I'll be here to help you every step of the way. So the door is opening. This is something that's happening soon. And this is coming in very quickly. I'm not going to say it's happening today or tomorrow or next week or whatever, you know, but it is happening very soon. This is something that's coming in very, very soon. A time to give rather than to take. New moon in Virgo. And so I just feel like this is that confirmation that this is going to be an equal give and take connection. Okay, this is something that you're going to be receiving. Like, it's been really hard for you to receive. And, you know, or maybe it's been easy for you to receive and it's been hard for you to give. Maybe you've struggled in giving, and that's just because of the background that you have, right? There's no right or wrong here. There's no judgment for that either. We all make different choices based on our circumstances and what feels right for us, but it doesn't mean that each party hasn't been injured in some way or hasn't had to go through trauma in some way. Right? And so that's what it feels like here. So there's definitely this, like, whatever you've struggled with, whether that's giving or whether that's taking or receiving, right? Giving and receiving. Like that's something that's being balanced out for you now. And that's a blessing that you're manifesting. And that's coming in the form of a person. Whoa. So here's a whole bunch for you. Okay, so we've got Imam Koeli with Make Peace with the Past. So you're healing something from the past, something that's been really challenging for you. Fuel your inner fire. There's going to be a lot of passion here with you and this person or these people. I do feel like this could also be a community that you're connecting with, like a spiritual community or like a community of people. Like maybe this is a guild or something like that, or maybe you do D&D or something like that, and it's a new group of people that you go with that you just really vibe with. That's coming through too, right? It could be anything. It could be maybe a baseball team. This could be maybe a forum that you connect with. Maybe this is a sports team that you connect with. So whatever it is, right? It's somebody that's going to help you fuel that fire, and you guys are going to be very safe with each other. But it does feel like one person, but again, this could be a group of people for others. Times are changing. So times are changing right now. Something's about to shift for you, and it's coming very quickly. I could not make this up. We have the 11th house, build your community, on the bottom of the deck. Whoa, what a powerful reading. What a powerful reading. Yeah, so definitely community vibes here for some. I love that for you. I love that for you. So we're going to get one romance angel card, and then we're going to get one abundance angel card for you, just in case this is business or if this is indeed a romantic relationship. Just kind of give us a better understanding for those of you that resonates with. Worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. So a confirmation, all in perfect timing. This is divine timing. So there's no need to hold on to this. It's going to happen when it happens. So just accept the message. If this is your message, right? You just accept it and then let it go and just go about and keep doing what you're doing. Because this is the person that you've been waiting for. This is the situation that you've been waiting for so long. It's like knocking on heaven's door. Yeah, it's like knocking on your door. It's like right here. This is something really cool. I'm so excited for you, pile 2. Super, super excited for you. Okay, so this is the abundance angels. It says unlimited ideas. Your mind is one with God's infinite mind. Therefore, you have complete access to unlimited ideas, guaranteed to bring blessings. All you need to do is to take divinely guided action to allow these ideas to come to fruition. This feels like a confirmation of what I felt earlier in the reading, where it's like you're trusting your intuition and you're walking on this path, but there's still a lot of unknowns. And that's why you're being opened up to these unlimited ideas. Like things are unfolding for you. And it does feel like when this person or this community comes into your life, there's going to be a whole abundance of different types of blessings that you start noticing, one right after the other. Bottom of the deck, I can't. This came out in pile 1 as well. Oh my gosh. Okay, so savings. As you consistently save for your future is saved. You do your future self a big favor as you consistently set aside present funds. This is a part of your self-care and path to feeling secure as you focus upon your life purpose. So don't forget to save yourself. I also feel like this is synonymous with this energy, that this is going to feel like this person's come to save you from yourself or from your situation. It's interesting energy, but in some way you both are going to feel that way about the other. Like you came to save me, even though they didn't and you didn't. But there's something about the energy here where it feels like that, where you guys are like, oh, if you hadn't come, like, I don't know what I would have done. Like, I don't know what I would have been through, like who I would have become because of, you know, what I was dealing with. But you guys are really, really good for each other. And this is something that you and they have needed for a long time. And I do feel like it's important for you, for business wise, keep saving, right? Save for the future. That's an investment in yourself. I did say it in pile 1 and I'll mention it here. So again, you might have come from pile 1, and sorry for the repeat message, but repetition is everything on our journey. And that is to check out The Richest Man in Babylon. You can either buy the book, but I would just suggest hopping on YouTube and checking it out. As they have it as a video that you can watch. I believe it's by 3 hours, and you can just pause it and watch it as you go. So Sagittarius energy again. We have optimism, exploration, and freedom. Yeah, so this is going to be a very freeing situation. You're going to feel adventurous. This could be someone you travel with. This could be someone you try new things with. Get back in touch with your inner child. Experience wisdom with. Like, just, I feel like there's a lot to be learned between you two. And it's going to feel really freeing. Yeah, it's time to play. You're working too hard and worrying about everything. Seek out joyous experience to bring balance into your life. So someone you're going to have a good time with. There's going to be a lot of play. You guys are going to like goof around a lot with each other. Like, it's a really good energy, really playful, fun, connected with your inner child energy. Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. This is a very grounding connection too, but also just remembering, like, take those steps, like keep moving forward, keep stepping on your journey like you have been. Don't worry about when they're coming into your journey. Just know that it is coming, and then just keep going on your journey, because this is somebody who's going to come up as it's like as the wheel turns, right? You guys ever watch The Wheel of Time by what is that, Michael Jordan? I think Robert Jordan. Yeah, anyways, great books, really long but really good books. But also they have the show on Amazon Prime if you don't read books, and you can watch the show. But everything happens in divine timing. The wheel is always turning, right? And that's what it is. It's like as you go on your journey, the wheel is turning and the cogs are falling into place. Deception. Yeah, someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. So here's the thing with deception coming out. I just want you to know this is something that you both have dealt with along your journey. You both have dealt with deceptive people. You've dealt with manipulators. You've dealt with really difficult situations along the way. And so with worth waiting for on the bottom, it's just reminding you, like, it's okay to let go and surrender the idea that everybody's going to manipulate you, that everybody's out to get you, because not everybody is out to get you. And I feel like they can definitely resonate with that too, because that's something that they felt along the way. But when you guys meet each other, there's just going to be like this knowing, this instant knowing, like, this is somebody that I'm meant to have in my life. This is somebody that's really important to me. And it's going to come in such a unique way. It's going to be totally unique and funny to you guys. It's something you're going to talk about later in years, and you're like, that's so crazy. Like, I would have never done this with anyone else. And they're going to be like, I know, right? Me neither. So let's take a look at your card. I'm going to read this from the book. We're going to see what it says. We have calcification. Yeah, so I feel like this is that resistance that I was feeling. You know, calcification is like the hardening, right? Like the hardening of something, when something becomes hard, and it's like the hardening of the heart. And I feel like that's something that's been really easy for you to lean into through isolation, is the hardening of the heart. It's not like you're a manipulative person. This is not you being a vicious person. This is not even you being unkind. In fact, I feel like you're still incredibly kind and you're still incredibly giving. But the resistance is opening up to letting that love into your life and believing that you deserve that high vibrational type of love. There's still just that challenge that's there for you, and that's something that you're working through in this time. But I also feel like that's something that they're working through in this time, and that's why you guys are going to come together and like lift each other out of this place of closed-heartedness. All right, so this is 64. Okay, that's 56. I need 64. All right, calcification says heat, fire, and desire. It says the divine flame resides within, and it is yours to tend to. That said, doing so patiently and with support will lead to change that is holy rather than hasty. Right? So we were talking about that. There's a lot of patience between you two, and that patience is bringing a massive change. It says fire has been used in rituals across all cultures, religions, and eras. Honor the element of fire today in a literal or metaphorical way. So calcinatio is the great alchemical operation of fire. It occurs when there's enough heat in the vessel to transform the nature of that which is solid or fixed, right? So burning away what is no longer serving us. How does a calcinatio begin? With a tiny glimmer, an urge, a desire that builds into a robust flame. On a psychic level, this stage may be an uprising of emotion that has been repressed or dismissed. It wants something big to change, to be brought to the light and purified. Perhaps a flawed ideology, institution, or outlook. Frustration and anger are wondrous change makers if their heat is channeled with space, time, and awareness. The transformation that occurs from calcianatio is rarely harmonious. It requires commitment and a willingness to sit through discomfort as old patterns fall into the ashes. The flame initiates a sacred change and eventually the phoenix rises. So to go deeper, contemplate Lao Tzu's teaching, the flame that burns twice as bright burns half as long, and to ponder the color of fire. And also just really quickly, Pile 2, you might really resonate with the collective message I did at the beginning. So if you feel called to that, you'll find that timestamp down below, and that might have additional messages for you because there's definitely a lot of synchronicities here for you. But this is really powerful because that willingness to sit through discomfort as old patterns fall into the ashes. That's what I was saying. Like, we were talking about anger specifically. This is someone who's going to sit with you even if you're angry. You can yell and scream and, you know, like, there's a song where it's like, oh, who sings that song? Beating on my chest like bongos. It's, what is that? It's a rap song and I can't remember who sings it. But it's like, I know that she's been hurt before and I know she's not mad at me. Like, he's talking about that. Like, she's upset because she's fighting her old patterns. She's fighting her old wounds. She's fighting her own hurts. And that he's showing up patient, allowing her to be who she is. And then she calms down and she's so shocked that he let her be who she is. But that's exactly the type of energy that's coming in. It's like somebody who's going to let you be who you are and sit with you in the discomfort and not judge you because of it. They're going to understand that this is you showing up because of what you went through. And they're going to accept you as you are. This is a true definition of unconditional love, acceptance, understanding, and patience. This is real love coming into your life. And again, it doesn't have to be romantic. This is love that is definitely worth waiting for, but it's going to be very transformative for you, Pile 2. So this is what I see for you. I'm so excited for you. I'm just so happy that this is coming for you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. I know it's been a rough journey, but you're still a beautiful, amazing, incredible person. And please celebrate yourself because you deserve that, okay? So if you felt like this was your reading, leave a little flame emoji down below and say, I sit through the discomfort and I allow the flames to burn away all that's the past and all that doesn't serve me any longer. And I step into acceptance of myself as a whole being now. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find everything you need in the description box below. So that being said, I'd like to take a moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very powerful message today. And until next time, Pile number 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with Neptune on it, or if you felt called to this piece of rose quartz, or perhaps you felt called to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be your reading on what blessings are you manifesting now. We're all here sharing this human experience together. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you're new here, thanks so much for joining us. I do things differently here on this channel, so there may be triggering statements that do arise on the readings themselves. There's no obligation to force it to fit, while keeping in mind that triggers can be a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journeys. If the messages happen to resonate with you, it'd mean the world to me if you're to like, comment, and subscribe below. And please know that your time, your energy, and your presence are a true gift and a blessing, and I'm deeply honored to be here sharing it with you today. So I do want to mention that this is a requested reading from my membership community. I do polls, or I'm going to be doing more polls with my members to influence the readings that will be coming out on the channel in the future. So that's something that you're interested in. You're welcome to join as a member, and you'll find the link down below in the description box. And if not, that's fine too, but I just want to say thank you to the members and thank you for the suggestion as well. So let's go ahead and hop to it and find out pile number 3. What blessings are you manifesting right now? What blessing are you manifesting now? What would you like to share for pile number 3, Source? What blessing are you manifesting now? So we've got the 12th house, North Node, and Pisces energy. Okay, pile 3. You guys are very spiritual, very psychic, very gifted. You might have one clair, a mixture of the clairs, be a psychic medium, a psychic, intuitive, empath. I just heard Heyoka empath came in so strong. All of a sudden, I actually don't know what all of those means, but that was so loud. It came in so loud. Some of you might also be a dark empath, and I know some people really have a problem with that label, but again, it's just a label. Whatever you want to call it, a shadow empath or anything like that, it doesn't mean that you're a negative person or that you're a bad person. It's just you walk around in the shadow, and that's where you do a lot of your healing, and that's where you actually take other people to do a lot of healing, is in the shadow. And so again, it's just whatever you want to call it, but that's something that's coming in here. Okay, so yeah, what blessing are you manifesting? I feel like this is you finally finding or really trusting the path that you're on. There's no more questioning what it is that you're supposed to be doing. And I feel like for many of you, you're building something that is spiritual. You don't have to be, but it does feel like you're building something spiritual. Like you want to offer something spiritual to people. You want to offer some sort of class or some sort of coaching or some sort of teaching to others, like wisdom, sharing your knowledge, sharing your connection, whatever it is, you want to share that with others. And this feels like the blessing that you're manifesting is now being true to yourself on the path and no longer questioning. Like you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. You're doing something that you've always wanted to do. So you might have been doing this for a while. And the example would be maybe you are a Reiki specialist, right? This is just an example, like, but maybe you've always wanted to do something combining Reiki, yoga, and tarot cards, but for a long time it's been comfortable for you to keep all of them separate. And so now you've got some idea and you're like, oh yeah, this is the perfect way to combine them. And so now you're starting to offer this to your clients instead of just one, the other, or the last thing. It's like now you're offering it as a complete package in a way that's combining them all. Or if you resonate with being like a dark empath, maybe you've always wanted to do shadow work and to offer like a shadow journal or to offer like shadow courses or something like that. But you've always been scared because of how the shadow journey can trigger people. People are afraid of the shadow. Like that's something that people are afraid of. And so that could have been something where you've definitely delved in it. You have tons of experience in it, but you've always questioned whether or not people would accept this. And it's just the calling is so strong that there is no turning back, right? And so something along those lines. Maybe it's shaman work, death doula. Maybe there's something here with you helping people find closure with something, or helping people even find objects. Maybe you're using your psychic gifts to help find lost people, or to find like with the, I don't know, I'm getting like what is that, the show Medium is coming in? Is that the right name of the show, where she's helping the police officers with her gift? Like maybe you want to do something like that, but you've always been afraid like you were going to get taken advantage of, or like no one would believe you. So there's something here along those lines. Like there's been a fear attached to this, and now whatever that fear was, it's like melting away. And the blessing is the freedom to let yourself shine and to let yourself be seen without worry about what's to come. You're just gonna let it be as it, right? Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer. Let it be. The Beatles have been strong today. Maybe you watched one of the other piles. And, you know, just quickly, as always, if you chose to spend all 3 piles with me, leave a purple heart down below. That makes you a part of my Purple Heart Club. And thank you to anybody who chooses to spend any amount of time with me. I really do appreciate you. And also, you might resonate with the collective message that I did at the very beginning. So if that's something you're interested in after watching this reading, you'll find it timestamped down below in the description box, and that might give you some additional guidance. Okay, so let's find out some more for you. Pile 3, what blessings are you manifesting? What blessings are you manifesting? Yeah, there's like a deepening of your connection with spirit, with source, with your guides. So this could be where you were like, you're saying, I'm a psychic medium, right? But maybe you were always afraid to really tap into that because people have made it seem like it's an awful thing to do, or like there's something that's super negative about it. And so maybe you're always like worried about it, but suddenly you open yourself up to one of your guides that's with you on the journey, and you hear them constantly, and they're telling you what to do, how to go, what's safe, what isn't safe. It's not like them making you do anything. It's just they're being a real guide for you, you know. A good book, like if this is something that resonates with you, is Spirited by Rebecca Rosen. That's a great book to check out. Just so great. It talks about her connecting with her grandma through automatic writing, and how that helped her open her gift. Okay, and so even if that's not something you're doing, anybody, that's such a great book to read. Okay, Spirited by Rebecca Rosen. Yeah. Yeah, so there's definitely some fears that have been attached to this, whatever this is, right? Like judgments or fear of exposures coming in as well. Fear of people feeling like you're doing, I'm just hearing that, doing like the devil's work, or feeling like you're doing something that is negative or toxic by nature just because it has a bad reputation. Like tarot is, maybe you're a tarot reader or an oracle card reader, you know. Sometimes I feel like it's just really sad. Like people have put such a stigma against tarot, and a stigma against people who are psychics, or, you know, people who have, you know, these gifts. And I always think about Tabitha Brown. I love her. I love her channel. Her hair Donna is hilarious. And I can't remember the book. Oh, I know I've shown you guys the book, but I've read her book a few times, and I cannot remember the title of the book right now. But Tabitha Brown, it's the yellow book that she wrote. It's got a yellow cover on it. It's beautiful. It's bright. It's fun. It's playful. But she's super, super religious. She's a Christian, right? And she grew up in a Christian home. And she has prophetic dreams, and that's something that the community at some point told her that she needed to step away from, because that wasn't God's work. And through her mom and through her grandma, she learned that this is how God made me, right? And why would God give me this if this wasn't something that I was meant to share with others? And so she helped people with her gift, and she still helps people with her gift. She still relies on it heavily. And that's something that I feel like, you know, it just has a stigma like, oh, you're not allowed to do those things. But we have spiritual gifts. Like, all of us as humans, we all have access to spiritual gifts, but I feel like some people are just so disconnected from their own gifts that seeing another person be so connected in that way is scary, because they don't understand it. And so that could be something that's coming through here, especially starting your reading with the devil. Like, it just feels like there's some sort of stigma that's coming out in regards to your spirituality, or in regards to your spiritual journey and what you're trying to do for your spiritual journey. But I feel like for pile 3, like, you need to hear this is the path that's going to bring you comfort. This is the path that's going to bring you a sense of purpose. And in some cases, this is the path that's going to bring you financial stability. Not everybody's pursuing it as a career, okay? But I feel like that's just somebody needs to hear that this is coming with financial stability as well. Yeah, there's a lot of, with the 4 of Swords here, there's a lot of peer pressure coming from the outside in this. And, you know, as I said on all the other piles, the cards are going to tell us the story. They're going to help us guide into what it is that's coming for you. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. And you got all 3 mystery cards to boot. Here's the thing. I feel like for you, it's been really hard because there's been a lot of people who have had something to say about who you are and what you do. Let me give you a personal example. I was in Texas, and I grew up as a Christian. I do not identify as Christian now, and that, you know, I'm spiritual. That's what I identify with. If I had to identify with something, I'm spiritual. I believe that Source is the creator, and Source is from whence we came. It's from whence we go back to. It's something that I have come to express through myself in my own journey. And I remember in Texas, I was there, and I have no problem talking about Jesus. I have no problem talking about the Bible. I have no problem saying God. Like, I don't have a problem with any of these things. It's just, that's not my preference. Okay, like but I have no problem. I'll sit down and have a conversation with anybody about it. I've read the Bible front to back multiple times. I am very familiar with the stories. You guys have probably even heard me bring up stories. In fact, there's a reading I brought up a story just not that long ago, and someone actually corrected me, which I'm so grateful for, correcting me on who it was in the story, because I couldn't remember the name of the guy. But anyways, you know, the thing is that I was talking to this woman, and they were drunk. And I probably shouldn't have been having this conversation, but they were drunk, and they were going off and all this, and I was like, oh, and they're like, we heard through the grapevine that you read tarot cards. And I was like, I do, actually. And I was like, who did you hear that from? And they wouldn't tell me who they heard it from, because I didn't tell them. So it had gotten passed around that I was a tarot card reader in this park that I was staying at, which was very interesting in and of itself. And I was like, that's interesting. And so finally, one of the ladies, she approached me and she's like, do you believe in Jesus? And it was the way she said it. And I was like, hold on. I was like, now, I see Jesus differently than you do. And right there, when I said that, she went off on me. And she's like, oh my gosh, no, you need to believe in Jesus. You need to believe in Jesus the way I believe in Jesus, the way that Jesus is taught. Like, just went off on me about this. And I was like, you asked me a question, and I'm trying to explain the question. Cut me off again. And finally, I just stopped. I just let her go on her rant. And when she ended, I said, you know what? I think I need to turn in for the night. But I really hope that you guys have a good night. And I just, you know, I hope everything works out for you, because they were leaving the next day, which I was kind of grateful for, if I'm being honest. But it's just, there's that stigma. If you don't believe the way that I believe, you're wrong. And that's what it feels like here with the Four of Swords. That's what it feels like you're going through, or what you've gone through. And it doesn't have to necessarily be belief. It could just be, you know, the way you use your spirituality, the way you connect, the way you pray, maybe the way you see the lessons. Maybe you read the Bible, but you see the lessons differently than other people, like whatever it is, right? There's something here where you've been forced into a box when it has to be come to your spiritual journey and your faith. And I've said this plenty of times to many people, not just on these readings, but faith is a very personal journey. And the reason that what is it called? I'll just call it mono religion became a thing was because of the sense of community. Like, of course, I'm not saying the stories are wrong. I'm not saying that it's wrong to believe. That's not what I'm saying. It's just looking at history, the reason that why having one God to worship became such a popular thing among communities was because it offered a sense of camaraderie, and everybody was praying to the same God, versus cultures that have multiple gods and goddesses that they pray to. Again, they're not right, they're not wrong. Everybody has to find what fits for them. But there wasn't necessarily that close camaraderie and that close community, because everybody might have prayed to a different deity. And so that's why Christianity, or like Catholicism, they became super popular. Protestant, anything like that, is because they had one God that they prayed to. And that's why they became super, super popular. But, you know, like, I study mythology, I study religions, I study all of it. And one thing that I've learned to be true is that they all kind of, like, how do I say this without sounding like, they all prove each other, right? Like, mythology proves religion, religion proves mythology. Like, they all prove each other if you're willing to open your mind to that, and you're willing to see it from outside of the little box that everybody puts us in. And so for this to come up for you, pile 3, I feel like that's something that you've been through. And, you know, again, I'm not here to tell you have to believe in source. Like, I'm not here to tell you have to believe the way I believe. No, that's not at all. What I'm saying is that there's something here that you've learned on your spiritual journey with your faith that feels very authentic to you, but it comes with some sort of stigma. It comes with some sort of judgment. It comes with some sort of hardships from the outside world that people hold over your head, and that people are judging you for, and that people are trying to make you feel bad about. And there's some points where maybe you've even felt like, am I impulsively going down this journey? Like, am Am I just, when you start to question whether or not you're doing it for the right reasons, even though you know in your heart that it's right, but you've had so many people attack you from outside, or you've had so many people say their opinion on it, that sometimes it puts us into a corner where we start to question our own selves and our own journey. And so you've repressed yourself and you've made yourself seem small when it comes to your spiritual expression. For the sake of saving face and for the sake of saving yourself from very challenging situations, right? Like, as I explained from my personal experience with that lady, it's like I was trying to answer her question, but just answering her question sent her into, I have to prove that I'm right because you're wrong. And it's like sometimes the best thing to do in those situations is to stay silent. But what is changing for you is this shift where now you're going to be seen and heard, where people are seeing the value in the knowledge and the wisdom you're bringing that's very spiritual by nature, whatever it is, right? There's something that you're gifting to the collective. There's something that you're gifting to everybody from a very grounded and wise place. But this has been a struggle for you, trusting that this is wisdom. It's been a struggle for you, trusting that this isn't something that you just got involved in because somebody else hated it and you were like, oh, well, if you hate it, I'm gonna love it, right? Like there's been this weird energy around it where you're wondering, like, did I really actually get into this because it meant something to me, or was this just being rebellious against a system? Was this just being rebellious against someone else? And so what's shifting for you is this understanding that this is what you're meant to be doing. And so it was already uncomfortable for you to go down this journey. It was already uncomfortable for you to step out and to even try doing whatever it is that you're doing. And now you've been uncomfortable for so long, and you've dealt with some very difficult people, and even maybe manipulative and cruel, because there's a cruelness with this devil here right now. Not necessarily does it always depict people, but right now I'm getting like there's this cruelty that people have attacked you because of the way you believe things. And it's your perspective and it's your right to believe that, pile 3. And I want you to know that, right? Like, you could be someone who used to be Christian, you still read the Bible, but you call it spirit now instead, right? Like, that could be something that you do, right? But there's something where you've gone off script. Okay, that's the best way to say it. And it doesn't have to be Christianity. It could be any religion. There's tons of religions out there. It could be any religion. But it feels very like something from very restrictive to going off script. And because you've gone off script, like, people have had something to say to you about it. And they've been trying to make you feel like what you're doing isn't right, or that it's wrong, or that you have no business getting involved in it in the first place. And so it has created a lot of doubt. And it's created a lot of uncertainty for you, and it's created a lot of hurt. I feel like you've been hurt along the journey as well. And so the blessing that you're manifesting right now is the understanding that you are who you are, and you have a right to express that into the world, regardless if people accept you or they don't. And I said this in another pile today. You know what? We're not for everybody, and everybody's not for us, and that's okay. We have to be okay with that. And if somebody comes up and they're like, I can't stand you, the best thing that we can do is, great, I'm so glad that we now know we don't resonate with each other, so I wish you the best of luck on your journey. I wish you the best of luck in finding the people you resonate with. Thanks for not wasting my time. Right? Like, that's the best thing we can do for ourselves. And that's something that comes from Julian himself. So again, you might have been on another pile. That did come out in another pile. But the thing is here is that there's a lot of hardship that's come with your spiritual expression. And there's a lot of uncertainty that's come with it too. Even though I feel like Source has given you synchronicity after synchronicity after synchronicity, that this is right for you. This is what you're supposed to be doing. And you might be one of those people, like, I'm guilty of this too. Like, I need a confirmation to confirm the confirmation that confirmed the confirmation that I originally got. And I'm still going to ask for another confirmation after that. I've been like that my whole journey. So you might be like that too, where it's like, okay, I need confirmation, Source. And so Source gives you confirmation. Okay, I'm going to need confirmation for that confirmation. And so you get that confirmation and you keep doing that. And so now it's almost as if you have this running dialogue with Source, with your guides, with your higher self, with whatever you believe in. But you have like this running dialogue where it's just constantly giving you reassurance that this is the journey you're meant to be walking on. And now there's no question about that. And so the blessing is confidence to step into this already uncomfortable place that you've been in for so long, but confidence to step into it with an assurity that this is exactly what I'm meant to be doing without a question of a doubt in my mind. And there's no looking back. And it's an offer that comes. It's a small offer that comes. It's something small that happens that all of a sudden transforms you into this spiritual beast, if you will, that is going to take the collective by storm. So Source, can you give us some more information about this for pile 3 that's going to help them better understand what this blessing is? It just really does feel, it feels very spiritual by nature. This doesn't feel very physical, like in the physical realm. This feels like something is going to be shifted in your soul, or this feels like something that's going to be shifted in the spiritual realm that's opening up a door for you, okay? And that door, it's like unquestionably, like you kind of peek through and you're like, what's on the other side of this door? Because it's curiosity. And then you step through. And I just heard someone say, well, curiosity killed the cat. Don't forget the rest of the saying until knowing placated it, right? Until understanding placated it. We always get part of the saying, and that has gotten us into so much trouble. I didn't know there was more to the saying, but I learned recently when I was in Texas that there is more to that saying, and I think it's until understanding placated it. Okay, so it's like, again, yeah, it can seem dangerous, and that curiosity opens you up to this whole new world. It's a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, or where to go, or say we're only dreaming. A whole new world, right? Yeah, so that's it. No one to tell us no, right? Or to say I'm only dreaming, or to say it's not real. No, this is it. Like, you're stepping into a knowing. It's a knowing that is unshakable for you. It's like everything you've ever wanted when it came to your journey, and just trusting and knowing, is this where I'm meant to be at? And it's like everything that you've asked for, it's coming. Bottom of the deck. Thank you so much, Source. We've got strength. Yeah, this is just, you're going to be so strong. You're going to be unquestioning the journey. It's like this running dialogue just feels consistent and so constant for you. It's like you're having a conversation with Source everywhere you go. Like, you wake up in the morning and it's like already the conversation starts. Like, you go to bed at night. Before you go to bed at night, you might be praying, but the conversation's never ended. It's just constant for you to talk to Source. It's constant for you to get messages from Source. It's constant for you to get confirmations and synchronicities. It's just like, you might be sitting there doing absolutely nothing, and then something tells you, pick up your phone, and you pick up your phone and it's 12:21, or it's like 12:12, and you're like, what the heck? And it happens all the time. Like, you might not even be looking at your phone, but every time you pick up your phone, boom, an angel number. You're driving on the road, angel number after angel number, or a license plate that says confirmation, or a license plate that says, you know, love God, or something like that, like, or a bumper sticker that gives you an answer, right? It's just constant information and constant synchronicities and from Source. Yeah. And like, it's interesting because look, justice on the bottom, you're getting so many mystery cards, right? And justice underneath strength. It's like things are finally balancing out for you. Things are finally coming to this justified state where people were judging you before. Now you're finding people who are accepting you as you are. It's like people who need what you offer. Yeah, the Son of Pentacles, which we have the Page of Coins, the Son of Pentacles. So a lot of repeat cards here, guys. The Two of Swords, the decision. Yeah, and the Nine of Cups, the happiness that follows that decision. So something's coming as a gift, and it's a small gift. This is a small gift from Source. It could be a material gift, So this could be someone who's like, hey, you know, if going back to the Reiki, the yoga, and the tarot, like if there's a bundle that you offer, one person is interested in it, they're like, yeah, I'll try that. And that opens the floodgates, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is what I've wanted to do all along. And it gives you such a sense of fulfillment and such a sense of happiness. And that's just a decision. You decide, you're like, nope, that's it. This is where I'm going from here. I'm letting go of the past. I'm letting go of the uncertainty. And you come out on top. You come out seen. You come out heard. You come out understood. And you are going to get a reward for this too. It feels like there could be monetary gain for some of you, financial stability for some of you, a new life, a new chapter. There's a lot that's coming in here. But it does feel like there's a small gift that comes in, and that small gift is the opening of this door. And your curiosity, you can't help it. Your curiosity, right? Curiosity with the lion. Yeah, it's like your curiosity brings you to the door. Okay, the 5th house, we have passion, play, children, confidence, and creativity. Yeah, your confidence is unwavering here. Your courage is unwavering. Your knowing is unwavering. You're unshakable. You're immovable at this point, right? You're going to feel good about yourself. I feel like it's going to give you a new sense of worth and a new sense of purpose too. Look at that. There's always enough. Whoa, okay. Don't think that this is too saturated too. Like, that's the thing with Sedna here, is Source saying like this is not saturated. The situation that you're in is not saturated. So if you're a tarot card reader, right, it's hard sometimes because you think, oh, there's so many other tarot card readers out there. There's so many other oracle card readers out there, but there's not you, right? You're the only you. You're the only one that will read cards the way that you read cards. You could say, oh, there's so many other Reiki specialists out there, but there's not you. Right? And that's true no matter what this is. It doesn't matter. There's not you. That's what makes it so powerful. And that's what makes it so special. There's always enough. It's not a saturated market because everybody has their own unique thing that they bring to it. Yeah, Namatona with safe space. Again, this feels like that safety that you've cultivated with Source, with Spirit, with God, with Universe, whatever it is that you call it. But with Source energy here, you've created this safe space. And through that safe space, you're in constant communication with the divine, and it's a very powerful place for you. And that might be why it's hard for you to put yourself out there too. That might be why it's hard for you to expose yourself in a way, because that's being vulnerable, is exposing ourselves, right? But it's time for you to put yourself out there. Like, this is a huge green light from Source that things are going to work out for your favor. Again, perspective, Milky Way, right? With Sedna, I love that this came out with Sedna because it's showing like only you have your perspective. No one else has your perspective. No one else sees the world the way that you do, which makes what you have to offer already distinct and unique. So don't feel like, oh, everyone else is doing it. No, you're the only one who can bring it the way that you can. This is something you're meant to create, right? Pisces energy here with the Dreamtime creation. This is where the Aborigines sang the world into existence with their didgeridoos. So this is something you're meant to create. This could be maybe you're a songwriter, or you want to be a songwriter, or you want to sing, or you want to play an instrument. This is definitely a green light for those of you that resonates with. And if not, it's just showing you that this is something you're meant to create. This is meant to impact the world. And even if it's not something that reaches worldwide, it's going to cause a ripple effect across the collective, which is very profound. Don't ever knock a ripple, right? One drop has the power to raise the ocean. And that's something to remember. Even if you only impact one person, that's enough of a ripple effect to impact the entirety. So you don't have to strive for worldwide recognition. That's not something you have to strive for if you don't want to. But if you want to, go for it, right? Yes, you are correct. Is a big green light, right? You've listened to your inner guidance, made a wise choice. Keep moving forward. Keep going on the path. Keep going down this direction. This is something very spiritual. Again, 38 here, 11 with the strength, 11, the gateway to our spiritual understanding, our spiritual growth, our awakening, our ascending, right? Our ascension process is unfurling as we speak, and that's what this really feels like for you, pile 3. The blessing you're manifesting is the unfurling, and no longer questioning yourself. And that might not seem huge, but I feel like for most of you, you're just like, there's like a finally, like this is what I've needed all along. And it was like, I just really needed this belief in self. Surrender to the divine. Yeah, with the full moon. So this last full moon that we had, was it June 29th, the full moon in Capricorn. This could have been a really transformational time for you. And whenever you're watching it, the last full moon could have been a very transformational moon for you. But at the time of recording this, it was the full moon, June 29th. And it was a Capricorn moon. But this is all about nurturing ourselves and reparenting ourselves and trusting and believing in ourselves and giving ourselves what it was that we needed. And so this is a really powerful moon. I mean, I definitely felt it. So I'm sure most of you felt it too. But that's the thing. It's like with surrender to the divine, it's just this trust and faith that things are going to work out for you the way that they're meant to. It doesn't matter if you believe what everyone else believes. Who wants to go off that cliff anyways, right? Be unique in your belief, because that's the beautiful thing about it. You bring a perspective that maybe people have been praying for, but no one had. And you putting yourself out there is what brings it to the people, right? Like everybody's like, I feel this way too, but no one else seems to. And it's because they don't have a leader in that position yet. And it feels like that's what you're meant to do, is you're supposed to lead. But again, it doesn't have to be a lot of people. It could be one person. It could be just one person, but that is enough to change the world. Face those obstacles. Yeah, this is like something that's been an obstacle for you, right? There's been a stigma in regards to this journey for you. And you're putting down the stigma. You're no longer letting that become your identity. Yeah, fight the good fight with Palace. You're realizing that you have something worthy of offering, and it is something very spiritual, right? The owl here is they're the divine messengers to the other world. Like they bring messages of our loved ones passed on. But also with the sword here is this truth, the truth of the other world, seeing something else. You know, when my mom was in the hospital, my mom passed away from brain cancer. If you guys have been on this journey with me for any time, a lot of you guys know the story. If you've listened to my podcast, I've talked about it extensively on my podcast. And one of the things is like when my mom was in the hospital, I came across this video where it talked about heaven, this person who had a near-death experience, and he was explaining what had happened. He's like, I felt free. I went into this place where it's like, I can't say that I saw anything or, you know, that I really like was visualizing anything, but he's like, it felt free and I was surrounded by love. And then this voice came and he asked the voice, he says, am I dead? And he says, no, you're not dead. He's like, not yet. And he's like, you have a choice. And he says, oh, okay. And he's like, but I feel like you have some questions for me, don't you? And he says, yeah. Am I in heaven? And the voice answered, to some. And he goes, so is this hell? And he's like, to others. And he's like, so what does that mean? He says, you get to decide. And that's the unique thing. And I was playing this video for my mom while she was in the hospital, and it was just such a profound video because, you know, whether, I don't know if it impacted her or not, because she was asleep, and well, she was not asleep, but she was kind of in and out of consciousness at the time. And you know, it's just something that was really comforting for me. And so maybe because I was comforted, I hope that it comforted her. But I think it's just really interesting that this man who talks about his near-death experience and how his experience is so vastly different from so many other near-death experiences where they're like, well, I talked to Jesus or I talked to God and God told me if I didn't stop what I was doing, I was going to go to hell. Like some of these near-death experiences are just more scary than anything, you know, like, oh my gosh, you know. But this was something that was really, it was calm, and it was just, he explained how he spent this time with this voice, and then the voice asked him at the end, you know, do you want to go back? And he asked him, he's like, if I go back, am I going to be happy? And the voice told him, he says, you get to decide. And that was the thing that kept coming up, is that you get to decide. That's what the thing was so powerful. And he's like, okay, he's like, I'll decide to go back then. And he said, okay. And he woke up in the hospital, and the doctors came to. They told him that he had been legally unresponsive or legally called dead for like 5 minutes or something like that. He was completely unresponsive and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden he started coming back. His vitals started coming back online and everything like that. It was wild. And so I feel like that's something like you get to decide. Like that's the thing here. But it's like, as I'm bringing this up, it's like that perspective made me feel a lot better about my own spiritual journey. Because up until that point, I had only had people who were very left-sided in the way of religion, right? Like I didn't have people who were more inclusive. And I think sometimes a more inclusive approach is freeing for us, because it shows us a different idea of what religion can be or what faith can be. And sometimes people are afraid to stray from that because they're so afraid of a God that's going to punish them. And I think one thing to remember is, like, even if you do believe in Jesus and God, like, that's fine. I always say the only difference between your God and my God is my God is unconditionally loving and not judging me based on my actions and my choices. My God accepts me because of who I am and will always forgive me no matter what. And that's really this difference between something that rules over us, that's super controlling and oppressive, right? And so I feel like you've dealt with something like that too, where it was very ruling, very oppressive, very controlling, and you've come into this place of freedom from your perspective, but you felt very isolated because you might have been the only one that's seen it that way. And this is something that's going to help others along the way. Like, I don't know why with the fish here, it's like, I just feel like this, like, it's going to feed many souls what you have to offer. And the blessing is the connection to the exact souls that need this message. Okay. So I'm drawing a romance angel and an abundance angel, just in case this has to do with work or love. But we have soulmate energy. Yes, this is a soulmate. So the use is like you calling in a soulmate as well. This is going to be calling in people who are meant to be on the journey with you, which is a very clear message. We have engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. I feel like this is the engagement that you have with the divine. You're moving up, you're leveling up, and you're leveling up into a new version of that expression of spirituality, whatever that's going to look like. For some, it's going to look like opening up their clairaudience. For some, it's going to be looking like their claircognizance. Or some of you, it's going to be automatic writing or connecting with people and healing the spiritual within people. Whatever it is, right? That's going to be opening up to a new level. So we have do the work. It's not enough to dream or pray. You also get to take the positive action steps that you are being divinely guided to take. Consistently working on your priorities will make them flourish like a lush flower garden. So continuing to take those steps. Definitely for some here, it's about music. And that's, whoa, Zoe. She just about knocked over my table. Yeah, it's about music, right? So making a loud entrance with music, rocking the boat, knocking the table over, right? Like making a mess of things, but the mess is what's needed. So do it messy, show up messy. It's a beautiful thing, right? Yeah, look, think, learn, network, and communicate. You're meant to network with people. You're meant to connect with people through whatever this is. Okay, and that's the blessing, is that they're coming to you now. Right? Wow, when we're talking about synchronicities, recognize the signs from above. Angels are sending you messages now. And see, I feel like this card came out. It says, but you're too distracted to notice. Stay alert and open to divine guidance. I feel like this is just a confirmation that you're receiving that constant dialogue with Source. Okay, recognize the signs. Like you do recognize them. Sometimes you might be a little bit uncertain, you know, like, am I really seeing this? Am I making it up? But I feel like eventually you trust in the process and you do move towards it with grace and with ease. And that's just that reminder to continue to do so. Take time to breathe out. Disseminating moon. Don't be afraid to take space for yourself too. Like, you're giving so much. Whatever you do spiritually for others, it takes a lot out of you. So don't be afraid to take breaks as well. Okay? So take a divinely guided chance. Wow. All positive change and success ventures involve a degree of risk, and you're ready to follow your divine guidance to new territories as you leave behind that which is comfortable and familiar, but no longer appropriate for you. You make room for new and more meaningful opportunities. So totally in line with what we've been talking about. describes it perfectly. You're stepping outside of your comfort zone. You've already been stepping outside of it, but you're really ready to lean into that discomfort and trust that it's leading you somewhere beautiful. And we have successful funding. I did say for some of you that this is going to bring financial security and financial independence. It says your idea is divinely guided and supported by the same infinite wisdom of God that gave you the idea. Do not allow money concerns to prevent you from turning it into reality. Crowdfunding, partnership, and other investments are available to help you. Yeah, so you're going to be getting successful money endeavors from this as well, okay? People are going to invest in you along the way, but also make sure you're investing in yourself, okay? So let's take a look at this card. I'm going to read this from the book. We're going to see what it says. Mercury, yeah, it's been hard for you to communicate this. I feel like that's the challenge, but that's also the shift, is being free to communicate it without judging yourself. Because when we hold ourselves back, we're judging ourselves. Even though we feel that judgment from others, it's because we're still afraid. We're afraid of being ourselves. We're afraid of being ostracized, kicked out of the tribe, whatever the situation may be. We're letting our fear hold us back. No matter what another person says, we should not let that become our fear. And I feel like that's something that's shifting for you, is you're not letting other people's fear become your fear, right? You're letting yourself be seen. It says signals, messages, and tricks. Yeah, so the messages are clear. Mercury reigns over all forms of communication. It is a particularly potent time for writing, learning, teaching. A pen is an excellent channel of Mercury's power. It also says Mercury is related to the god Hermes, a psychopomp and messenger of the gods, witty and quick. Hermes can be seen in all things winged and swift, and in the caduceus, which is a sign of healing, and also connected to Archangel Raphael, which is the green flame of light as well. Okay, so you could be working with Raphael very closely, or Archangel Gabriel as well coming through. It says in the realm of Mercury, anything is possible. The energy is transfixing and seductive, just like the metal itself. Since the planet rules commerce and communication, it's likely there are deals, contracts, and calls being exchanged that will spin you in a whirl of mercurial wonder. Don't rush big decisions or get caught in the mesmerizing energy. Rather, pay particular attention to the precise words that are being spoken and written. There may be a trick underway, maybe not. No one is sure yet. It is said that the energy of Mercury is found in the pinky finger, and that it is the ally color. Its ally color is green, which is the color of money and also the color of our heart chakra. Enjoy your time in this emerald hall of mirrors. Just don't sign your name on the dotted line until what is liquid becomes solid, until clear words are expressed by an honest tongue. To go deeper, look up the statue Mercury and Psyche by Reinhold Vegas from 1857, and to ponder a riddle with no answer. So that's the thing. Like, isn't it funny? And that's such a powerful line, a riddle with no answer. Thinking about religion and thinking about beliefs, they really are a riddle with no true right answer, no wrong answer. The only answer that exists is the one that we give it, the one that we feel we resonate with the most, right? And that's what's really powerful. So again, religion is the example that keeps coming up, but it doesn't have to be religion. It could be all things spiritual. It could be spiritual journey, spiritual endeavors. This could be spiritual work. This could be anything along those lines, okay? Like communication with the divine, having one of the gifts, all of the gifts. We all have gifts, but whatever it is, it could even be artwork in the form of spiritual gift, right? So remembering that you have something to give, but instead of trying to put it into somebody else's box, let it be whatever it is for you. Because somewhere, somebody somewhere is going to benefit from that, and their lives are going to be changed just by you choosing to express yourself in that way. So there's a lot of good things, and the blessing here is the freedom to be you without worry, but also the freedom to spiritually be you without worry. And it's going to be received, okay? What a powerful message. This is what I see here for you today. Pile 3, if you felt like this was your reading, leave the little feather emoji down below. and say, I trust in the conversations that I have with the divine, and I continue to move forward, trusting that my path is unfolding in divine timing and leading me to the people who I'm meant to find. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find everything you need in the description box. So I'd like to take a moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this truly powerful message today. And until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.